Hello, we're live. Let me double check that I'm on the right microphone. I am. Hooray! Congratulations, me. Happy Valentine's Day, James.
Happy Valentine's Day, Rudy. And to you as well, stream watchers.
And
Happy
to you as
Valentine's
well,
Day.
watchers, happy Valentine's Day.
So,
So, what are we doing here today on Valentine's Day?
we're expressing our love for the
Oh,
Zweihander starter set, which is today on Kickstarter. Right now,
it
you go to
is. Oh,
kickstarter.zweihander.game.
let me put a link in
Um,
chat.
yeah.
Zweihander.kickstarter.game. Is that what you
That
said?
is no Kickstarter.zweihander.game. Kickstarter comes first,
Oh my
and
god.
then the Zweihander, then the game.
Oh, boy.
Um,
You know what? Either one works.
oh, look at that! Both work. Hey, awesome,
So
awesome.
it's listener's choice, as we like to say in the business, or
In the
viewer's
biz,
choice.
the old viewer's choice. Yeah. So this is really cool because first of all, the funding goal has already been doubled, which means that
Oh,
they are unlocking all kinds of stretch goals
oh
over
my
there on the
goodness!
old
Does that
Kickstarter.
include tarot card sized spell and equipment lists?
It does include tarot-sized arcane spell cards. There's a new ancestry. There's a new
Oh,
profession that's been
oh,
unlocked.
new profession. That's very
Dice
exciting.
of chaos have been unlocked, and
Oh
then
no!
we're coming up on all new diseases and an additional player's guide. So that means, right, like when you get the starter set, there's one player's guide that everybody uses to build their characters. Well,
Yes.
now you'll have two, so that when you all sit down, you can all you don't all have to huddle around one book. You can have multiple books in the copy. So
I like it.
it's cool. It's cool. It's a very convenient and fun way to get set up. Plus, like what you get in the base is pretty cool, right, Rudy?
Yeah, it is. I mean, in addition to your, rules guide, there's a specific game master's guide, which is always helpful, and I feel like not really a separate thing too. Usually
Mm-hmm.
doesn't happen in starter sets, so I think that's really really cool. Usually it's just like here's the rules, and then it'll say like players don't read further than this point, and the GM will have to read that section for adventure stuff. It comes with the adventure that
Mm-hmm.
we ourselves have been playing, Secrets of Swanzi. What are the secrets? Well, you're going to find out about some secrets today. It
You
comes
sure
with
are.
one of my absolute favorite companies, Campaign Coins, have given I think it's 6 or 9 coins that
Oh yeah.
represent fortune/misfortune. And I think those add so much to any game. To feel those metal coins in your hand, doesn't matter what game you're playing, it really helps with immersion and atmosphere. It really helps you feel like you're in it, and it's so much better than like cardboard chits or something like that. To feel those metal coins in your hand, it's like you're really there. It's the real deal. So I'm a huge fan of those. And then of course we've got high quality dice,
Ooh,
as you would expect from any tabletop role playing game.
that's right.
I think that's the extent. What else, James? Are you looking at the page right now? What else? What else do we have?
Oh yeah. So there's also a GM screen that it comes
Oh,
with.
always fun. Always fun.
Um, and one of the cool things that we can't do because we're playing virtually, but
Sure.
one of the cool things is that with the adventure, right? The adventure is this investigative mystery, and there are clues. And each time you find a clue, there are actually cards that you can give in the adventure to the
Oh.
players to say, like, oh, you found a a piece of thread, right? Was one of the clues that we found in the previous episode was thread under a murder victim's fingernails, and it was like, here's the thread, don't forget you have this, right? And so as you find these different clues, when you have all these different threads to track, see,
Mm,
yeah,
mm.
you've got it all on cards to go along with it, which is really cool. It's and it's got character folios, which
Sure.
are like character sheets, right? But a nice folder that you can put them in and everything like that. So there's cool stuff here. This is like a high
Yeah,
quality starter set. I've never really
definitely.
seen one quite like this.
I have to say, I love that idea of the clues, especially as a starter kit. Expectation is you might be introducing the concept of role-playing games to new people. So, a lot of time when you get the elevator pitch of what's a tabletop role-playing game, a lot of it's like, you can do anything, you can go anywhere. And that can be overwhelming as a person completely new to this style of game. So being able to hand them those clues and be like, well, here's something you can follow up on. Here's something you can follow up on. I think that's really smart for new players and really, really clever. So that's cool. I love it.
It's great. It's great. And we're going to see the power of mystery in this this next episode for sure.
Yes, the power of mystery. A horrifying, terrifying mystery. Definitely. So I think on that bit of a teaser, let's I think we're ready, right? Let's jump into episode 2, The Secrets of Swanzi. And James, you and I will be around at the end of the episode in about 2 hours and change. And we'll just do a little post-game talk and discuss what may be happening next for our protagonists, not necessarily heroes. Protagonists, I think is what we're calling them. And that'll be really fun. So James,
I will say,
yes?
Stick around to the end for sure, because some wild stuff happens towards the end of this episode.
Very wild stuff. All right. I will see you in 2 hours, James.
See you then. I'll be in chat, everybody.
Oh, me too. All right. Bye.
It's me, James Introcaso, he, him. I am your game master this evening on this magical mystery tour through the Zweihander starter set. We're playing through Secrets of Swanzi, and this is our second episode. Let's go around and meet the cast real quick. TK, who are you and what do you do in the RPG world?
Hello, it's me. It's TK. I'm very excited for this. Did you say a magical mystery tour or
I did. It is a magic. Well, it's a mystery, and there's magic. So
okay. I just wanted to get. I don't know. I got like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory vibes from it, and I'm good with it.
Sure.
I write spooky stories. I put them on the internet. You can read them or don't. I don't care. I'm not your dad. And I work for Roll20, and that's pretty much it. I do a lot of freelance writing. That's it. That's all I got. Are we supposed to say who we're playing, or are we just saying who we are?
You can tell people who you're playing, I guess. That would probably be helpful as well.
Yeah, I'm playing Black Eden, a highwayman and professional blackmailer who brings heavy peg your dad energy. That's it.
Excellent. Grim and perilous for sure.
And perilous.
Sean, why don't you tell us about you and your character?
Hey everyone, I'm Sean Banerjee. I'm available places at Sean Banerjee. I am a CTRPG industry person, freelancer. I do things. You can pay me for them. And I am playing, they, them. And then I'm playing Giles Vermont, who is also they, them. They are a smuggler and a bad Nick Cage impression. And maybe not the person to trust with your boats.
That's right.
Bringing the Peg Your Dad Banerjee. I would.
Excellent.
You know what? I would. Why not? Why not? Also, my dad liked a Peg Your Dad joke on Facebook, and I don't think he knows what it means, and I'm so scared.
Wow.
Would it be better or worse if he did?
I don't know. I like for 48 hours, it's all I've been able to think about, and I'm just like,
I think it would be worse because if he didn't know what it was, then you could just make something up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we're never going to talk about it.
Or he'd Google it at Disney World.
Well, yes, of course. But like, it could be anything you want it to be. It could be worse.
So, Rudy,
hey,
why don't you tell us about you and your character?
Hi, my name is Rudy Basso. My pronouns are he, him. You can follow me online at Rudy Basso. I am also in tabletop RPG freelancer type. I write, I do podcast producing, I do video production, I do audiobook narration, so just all over the place. I am playing the Professor, a pugilist, who brings big punch your dad energy.
Oh, excellent. Well,
if
Diana...
your dad accepted a mutual agreement to punching, I'm not just going to hit somebody's dad because they're a dad. So
yeah, I'm
a respectable individual. I'm wearing a tie. I'm wearing a nice hat. So
incredible.
Sure. Yeah, you don't just go around punching.
I just go
dads.
around punching
You
dads.
challenge them. and
There
then
you
punch
go.
them.
Yes.
Yeah.
A duel.
I'd absolutely
Diana.
punch a dad.
Tell us about you and your character.
Yay. Hi everybody. I'm Diana D'Amico, she, her. I don't punch anyone's dads. That I know of, I suppose. You know, there's always time. I am the partnership manager over at Die Hard Dice. I'm also one half of Barden Barbarian and the resident storyteller for Renegade Games. And yeah, so tonight I'm playing Barbara Sturgeon, the Barbara Surgeon.
Yes.
I won't do anything to your dad except cut the hair, maybe fix the back.
Yeah, you will.
That was fix.
I'll
It's a broad
realign
term.
those vertebrae, if you know what I'm saying. I'm so sorry, James.
Yeah. No, it's cool. We're talking about pegging.
Lobi
Just
is
so
never
everybody's
gonna
clear.
The last game we
So-
played together.
In
Yeah.
case Sean's dad is watching, I want to be clear about what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
He's not, but my uncle might be.
What?
That's it. That's where I'm ending it.
Oh,
Excellent. Okay, well, I think to give everybody a heads up, if this is your first time watching, welcome. Zweihander is currently as of right now
Yes.
when you're watching this, not when we recorded this. There is currently a Kickstarter for the starter set. It's got all kinds of good stuff in it. You probably heard Rudy and I talk about it before this. You'll hear us talk about it again at the end, but you can go to kickstarter.zweihander.game. And that will take you right to the Kickstarter where you can check out all kinds of good stuff. Now,
I
we
have
are
just
playing-
pasted the link in chat.
Ooh,
Good job,
wow.
future Rudy.
Nice. Good job, future
you.
Rudy. Absolutely. And good job keeping your hat on, by the way. It's just impressive. I don't know how you're doing
I don't
it with
either.
the headphones under the hat.
This is a
but
new
it's working.
skill that I
Double-sided
have
tape.
developed. No, this is all natural.
hair clip.
Yeah.
It's
you can
magnetized
also
like
watch
the
Rudy
cat
do it with a
ears that
cowboy
people-
hat.
Yes, that's the classic Midgardian. We'll talk about that later. That's what every bard in Midgard wears
The
for Kobold
classic
Press.
Midgardian.
So, but last time this crew of adventurers had come to the village of Swanzi, where they know the constable there, Anya Dost. And Anya had asked you to help look into some murders and some disappearances of people. Now, this is normally a sleepy town where this kind of thing doesn't always happen. So you immediately set off and split the party to investigate. So Barbara and Giles went to the constable's office to check out one of the murder victims' bodies, where they found a piece of gray thread beneath the fingernails of this individual who was a refugee who had been found dead. And you were going to then meet your friends over at the chapter house of the martyr, who is the martyr is a god of healing, but you were going to stop by the murder scene on the way to that. Meanwhile, on their way to the chapter house of the martyr were Black Eden and the professor. And Black Eden and the professor decide to stop by a different murder scene on their way to the chapter house of the martyr. And I misspoke earlier. You're actually all going to meet at the tap room
Pub.
together, right? That's
Yeah, the
idea?
pub.
The
Oh.
Full Tankard, was it called?
The Full Tankard,
Yeah.
yes, is the name of it. So when you had stopped by that murder scene, you had seen some blood, and there was a pile of garbage that moved, and a man shot out of it. And the professor chased the man down, and the man said, "Please don't hurt him. He had
Oh.
just heard the murder. He didn't see anything." And that's where we
Don't
had
chase
stopped.
me, bro.
So we're gonna pick up right there,
Yes.
Professor. You have this individual. They look rather like they've seen better days.
Mm.
Their clothes are rather ratty. Their skin is filthy. They smell like a garbage heap.
Oof.
And you have them, and they are begging for you to not hurt them.
Yes, I do not plan on hurting them, but I do plan on carrying them back to
Okay.
my companion Black Eden, for I am not good at remembering things.
Got it.
So whatever this person is going to tell me, I would like them to tell Black Eden as well.
Yeah, I'll be
So-
here.
Yeah, Black Eden, you are in this alley. You can see there are bloodstains, and the signs of the murder are still fresh The body was found this morning. Do you want to do anything while you're after the professor runs off while you're waiting for him to come back?
Yeah, I'd like to unsheath my rapier and sort of just like use it as a stick to go through the little hovel that the man has been sleeping in, just to see if there's any like belongings he might have been hiding in there, etc.
Sure.
Belongings to other people, just like
Yeah.
I want to see if maybe he's hoarded anything away.
Yeah. So as you're moving things around with your rapier, it
just
does
poke it.
look like this individual uh maybe lives here.
Okay.
So you see some evidence of like uh maybe like a second change of clothes that is kept back there. It looks like there is like a blanket and a pillow. It doesn't look like they're actually sleeping in the garbage so much as like next to it, right? But
Okay.
for some reason they had decided to put themselves entirely underneath it for for some other reason. But you can see that that there is evidence that they are often in this place. The other thing you would probably notice is um, within the blood, there are a couple of bloody boot prints that lead out of the alley.
Well, I don't like that. And it was definitely not the man. Was he wearing boots?
He was not wearing boots. No,
And
he was
in
barefoot.
same direction or different direction?
From the direction you came in, so a different direction out of the alley than he left and the professor chased.
Uh, what's money here? Is it coins?
Yes, money is coins.
Okay, money is coins. I'm gonna take out a few coins and put them next to the boot print to get an idea of how big the boot print is, what size it is.
Oh,
Use them
excellent.
as like a ruler.
Yeah, I think you would see then that these are two different sized boot prints.
Interesting.
One is rather large. Looks like a for an individual who either has very large feet or is probably like tall, and therefore all of them is much bigger.
Yeah.
And then one of them is a more slender boot print that is a little bit shorter.
Okay. Is it
Yeah.
as deep or is it
No, it would not be as deep in the mud either.
okay? What about the
Yeah.
heel?
Good question. So they seem to have similar, like make of boot.
Okay, so
Yeah.
probably men's boots.
Mhm.
We probably live in an area where, well, I mean, it's like the 1700s, and at least aristocratic men would be wearing heels at this time, but not necessarily if it's been raining or if they've been traveling recently. I think we can assume utilitarian boots.
Yes, yeah, that is definitely what it looks like. That it is two pairs of utilitarian. Probably somebody who, let's see.
Yeah,
You could make a test to see what more you know about these boots.
yeah, because I
Um,
want to use like my rapier to like measure the stride and everything like that.
Boot
yeah,
check.
this is gonna be a fun.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
say
wanna roll to see if they're wearing Louboutins.
probably like either a scrutinized check, or I would also accept survival.
Oh.
Which one of these
Because that's
do
like
I not
tracking and
suck at?
stuff.
Let's take a look. Scrutinize. Nope. Oh, I suck at both of them. I suck at both of them. All right. So I got to beat a 50.
Beat a 50.
57. No luck.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to discern anything more than what you've already gotten, right?
All right.
We have
And as
the-
you're checking it out, the professor would probably come
Yes, our
back.
fortune has reset, right? It is session.
Yes,
based,
that's
if I
true.
recall.
Yes, your
Oh.
fortune
So
has
we have-
totally reset, so you have 4 fortunes right now.
Fortunes, one may say.
Okay.
One may say.
Clipped.
It's not going to earn you an
Well-
extra fortune.
Oh, okay.
I got a lot. I got a lot for free, so I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay.
Plus,
And at that moment,
I'm
you hear
cursed, so can't do a fortune point yet.
the professor is bringing this individual back
Hmm.
now, who I think has sort of gone silent as you're carrying them. Has realized you haven't asked any questions or anything, Professor, and so it's just thought like, oh well, maybe it's better for me to shut up until I realize what's going on.
All right, yeah, I'll come back. All right, now then, tell my friend here what you told me, and then continue telling what you were going to tell me to them.
Oh, well, oh boy, listen, I don't want any trouble. I don't know if you're the people who were here last night, but I really I didn't see anything. All I heard was, listen, I was just sleeping, and he motions to his blanket, uh, and then I heard a scuffle, and I was too scared to look, but I heard two people talking to Father Pierre, and they
Oh.
were demanding that he comes with them, and Father Pierre, I don't know, I think he lashed out, and the other two were on him quick. It sounded like there were punches thrown, and there was scuffling and yelling, and but it was 2 against 1 in the end. I heard those two talk about what they should do with Father Pierre, and I don't know. It sounded like maybe it was an accident. They didn't mean to kill him, uh, and then they left. And then I came out and I saw Father Pierre's body, and then I left, uh, and uh, and then I came back to get some things, and then you showed up.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Did you hear any weapons being drawn, or did you just hear the scuffling of fists against chests?
I don't
and
know, but it
faces.
looked like Father Pierre was bleeding something bad. It looked like he had been cut.
He had been cut. Okay. Now, did they give a reason for why he was to go with them?
No, they just said he had to come with them.
Did he sound scared, or he sounded angry?
Angry. Scared. Angry. Angry and scared.
Where did you go?
Where did I go?
Where did you go last night? The
Oh,
body wasn't found until this morning.
I just wandered.
So you didn't seek help,
Oh, no.
even though you knew the victim.
Well, I mean, I know Father Pierre because sometimes he, hands out food to refugees, but there aren't that many people who help us around here. I don't know who I would go to.
Are you afraid of the constable? Why did you not go to the law?
Oh, I didn't know where to find the constable. There's only one. They don't work all night. I don't know where they live.
The constable doesn't live in her office, I guess.
No. No, they have a home.
Yeah. All right. No, I don't need sass.
Well, yeah, I think that Black Eden
I-
does think that it's interesting that with so many refugees going missing and stuff, that there wasn't an idea of like where they could go for safety and stuff. And I think Black Eden will ask about that. Just say, you have noticed that other refugees have gone missing, surely.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah. That's one reason why I'm trying to hide out when I'm back here. I don't want people to know.
Well, if I know one thing about outcasts, it's that you typically huddle together to stay safe. Where do you go?
Um, I come here. This is my spot. But sometimes people go under the drawbridge. Many people do find work at the docks, and they have homes. But
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that kind of work.
Did either of the two men refer to each other by name or call each other anything?
No, not that I heard. I don't know that it was two men either.
Oh, two people. Yes.
Yeah.
So, what do you, if you had to guess?
Oh, one gruff voice and one smooth like butter, high pitched voice.
All
Smooth like
right,
butter.
I see what's going on here.
So, yeah, it's James setting himself up for failure.
Yeah.
A couple scenes from now.
I absolutely expect you to hold that voice the whole time too. I hope there's an accent. I hope it's like sexy.
Yeah.
I hope it's like a 1970s Bond villainess.
Oh wow.
Kidding. Most villainesses from that time period will have low voices.
Well, that's true. That's true. But it'll probably sound something in between this and this. Those are
boy.
the two voices you get with James.
Pick
Okay.
number 2, bud. Pick number 2. Yeah, so Black Eden will like bend down like really close to him and like get like eye to eye with him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, there are only 500 people who live here. If you saw them again, would you know them?
Maybe if I heard their voices. I didn't see them. I stayed under cover.
Okay.
Alright.
Where can we stash him, do you think? That he
You could
won't run
probably
away?
stay at the chapter house, right?
Yeah. Do you hold faith with the martyr by chance?
Well, I haven't been to services in a while, but I do appreciate what they've done for me. But there are no services today because of what happened. with
Yeah.
Father Pierre.
I'm just saying in general.
Do we know if there's like a okay, above game? Does the martyr have like sanctuary customs?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
That is a good question. So they don't necessarily like often their doors are open to any who wish to come in during the day, sort of like a Catholic church, I guess.
Yeah.
James, my knowledge of religion is not very deep. But yeah, so normally yes, although it sounds like what Morrow is saying is the doors are closed today.
The doors are closed. Interesting. Would we think that that's out of the norm, or perhaps related to the funeral service? Or
so you know that Father Pierre's body was brought there,
right?
Yes.
But yeah, it does seem a little strange that they would close down.
Interesting. Yeah, the idea that they would close down the church for somebody who's not necessarily high up in the church. I don't like that.
I don't either. Maybe I'll give him a handful of coppers, tell him to wait in the inn. We'll go suss out how the chapter house feels. And if we feel like it's a safe space, we can stash him there. Otherwise, we'll go across the river, set him up with the law. The
Sounds
constable. Yeah? All right. Then...
All right. Get your things. Go grab yourself a pint or tankard or whatever you imbibe.
Now that I know the cost of a tankard of ale, I'll give him 5 copper pieces. That should keep him happy for the afternoon.
Thank you.
Don't get yourself into any trouble.
Hopefully this full tankard is like a pilot or something where they have showers.
Get a corner booth, keep to yourself, put your hood on. Does he have a hood or?
Yeah, sure. He's got a cloak.
Yeah.
You don't think it'll be conspicuous if I'm all alone in a corner booth with my hood up?
Are people nosy here?
Oh, I mean, there's only like 500 people here in town. And it looks a little weird when someone sits alone with their hood up don't you?
Is
Okay,
there a
I'll see you
table
in
you
the full
typically
tankard.
sit at? That's not a
Do whatever
Don't answer any questions about the murder
Yes.
from people who are not us.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I really don't want much to do with this at all. I am grateful for the money, but we're done talking about the murder, right?
All right.
Of course.
Let's see. What
And
can
if you run, we
can
will find
I-
you.
Guile is like deception, right? So I don't know that.
It can be
that would've-
deception, but it can also be like being smooth.
I want to be mean.
roll for
intimidate. That's what I should
Yeah.
be using. I'm gonna go with the old intimidate, and I'm gonna grab him by the collar and say, "When you didn't report that murder immediately, you yourself you're involved. If you wanted to get out of this, then you should have gone to the law as soon as possible and helped them, but you didn't. So now you're gonna do what I say."
All right. So make an intimidate. I will give you plus 20 because he's
my
already
goodness.
very scared.
That gives me 80.
Oh, here we go.
Time to fail.
Or just lie, Rudy.
I have rolled
Just
a
lie.
38. No, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm sorry. Chat, don't lie during games.
I've rolled a 38, which is a success.
So that is excellent. And he nods and says, okay, I'll see you at the Full Tankard. I'll wait for you there. Thank you for the money, sir.
You're welcome.
And like reaches out to like pat you because he's not really sure what to do while you're still holding him.
I'll shake
and
his
like
hand.
smooths your tie over.
Oh, okay. No, I will let this go on. Yes.
Horrible.
I will tip my cap to him. I'm a gentleman.
And he puts up his hood and starts to head off in the direction
Excellent.
of the tap room. So you two are probably headed over to the temple, the chapter house of the martyr.
Yeah.
Yes,
In the meantime,
this alley smells like poverty.
let us cut to Barbara and Giles. So Barbara and Giles, you're headed to this crime scene under the drawbridge.
Under the drawbridge.
Yes. That was the idea.
Excellent.
Down by the docks.
So when you get there, you can go under, and there are like, the river goes under the drawbridge, but there are little banks along as well that you could walk under, and there's definitely evidence of people occasionally hanging out here, possibly living here. Scraps of food and that sort of thing. There's like it's chilly under here because the sun's not hitting it, and the wind. There's like a little bit of a wind tunnel effect, and you're getting hit with the water. You can see also that there is a rail thin, mangy dog that is digging in the ground, and this is a what would normally be like a very big dog, but given how skinny they are, they don't have a lot of meat on their bones. But it's a mastiff, digging in the ground, sniffing the air, with a mud-covered nose, and looking up sort of furtively at you whenever you are make noise or anything like that.
I want to make friends with the dog. I want to make friends with the dog. Sorry.
I would like to retcon something really quick.
Sure.
So when we noticed the gray threads underneath the fingernails, I have a question about it, and then I would have taken them.
Absolutely.
Were they clean? Like, did it look like nice clothing or something, or was it kind of like dirty, gross gray cloth?
Great question. So they were under bloody like fingernails kind of, but other than the blood, it does look to be clean but rough spun gray. You can make a folklore test if you would like.
Sure. That's
that's
something that I could do.
Yeah. Giles could as well. And we can also talk about how you aid in Zweihander. If you have a rank in a skill, and you can come up with like a reasonable way you could aid someone, the way it works is you roll your D10 when they make the skill check, and then they can replace one of the numbers in their skill check with your D10. That's how it
handy.
Yeah.
I do not have a rank in folklore, so I cannot.
Well, I successed.
Excellent. Excellent. So you know that now gray cloaks are popular, right? Like a lot of different people could wear them. Yeah. But you do know, given everything else surrounding this case, that priests of the martyr wear rough gray spun robes.
All right. Giles.
Barbara.
Could you bring that dog over here?
Yeah. Yes. All right. I'm gonna get out like a piece of jerky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to entice this dog to love me.
Okay. All right. So you approach the dog. As you do, the dog bares its teeth, and you can see something shiny in its teeth.
It's got a gold tooth. Understood?
Yeah, it gives a her.
Could I just kind of give the like sit command just to see, like with some force in my voice, just to see if the dog will obey?
Sure, yeah. Make a handle animal test.
I'm real good at that. That is meets it, beats it, right? I
Mhm.
rolled a 45. It is a 45.
Okay, excellent. So you give the sit command, and the dog does sit, but is looking at Giles because Giles has taken out the food.
Sure.
But is like listening to you, but looking to Giles for the treat, basically.
Go
I'm
ahead and
gonna-
feed him then.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately like break off a piece of it and like give him the treat for obeying.
So the dog pads over when you hold out the treat and opens their mouth to take a bite of the treat. And as they do, this shiny thing falls out of their mouth. And that shiny thing is a human finger that has been severed with a ring on it. Now, we established last time, Barbara,
You're
you've seen all kinds of stuff.
I don't mind a finger here or there.
Exactly. However, Giles,
Like I'm
Sweet.
trading jerky
Yeah.
for. Oh,
Sounds like they're
yeah.
trading snacks.
sweet Giles.
what am I
Please
rolling?
make me a resolve test.
I'm bombing on this dog.
Then you'll really make friends.
Yeah.
26. I needed a 40.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah. You're chill. You don't lose your cookies over this. But yeah, you can. And so the dog is
I'm just gonna pet the
Hanging
dog
out.
a little bit and then be like,
Could I see that?
"Yeah, no, that's yours. All yours."
I'm gonna take the finger
okay.
Oh.
and look at it real hard. Does it look like a clean cut? Does it look like it got chewed off? What is the status of
Ooh.
this nub?
Make a heal test. And you'll get
Seems like
plus
the opposite
10.
of healing, but okay.
Yeah. Well, it's sort of assessing an injury.
Heal.
I'm fucking with my wedding ring to see where I'd have to sever it to keep the ring part on.
Here.
Well, if you wear your ring like Sauron in Lord of the Rings on your like first knuckle or whatever, then it's easy.
Yeah, it's like a ring's all the way up here.
Just the ring that
Yeah.
doesn't fit. It's perfect.
It's like when you say there's a ring on it, what you really mean is it's those like long acrylics that have like a ring pierced through.
Exactly. Yeah,
No, I get
it's
it.
a nail ring.
I see
yeah.
what's up.
Sounds classy. Yeah, I rolled a 22. I needed a 60, so.
Oh, so 22 is a critical success because it is whenever you succeed and both your numbers are the same, 22, 11, 33, right? That is a critical success,
Only those
which in Zweihander means like you get something extra for your success, right?
Ooh.
Now, the opposite is also true. If you fail and you get doubles, 99, 66, whatever, that is a critical failure.
100 and 0.
Yeah, exactly. 100 and 0. Well, so 100 is always a critical failure, and a 1 is always a critical success. So, yeah. And so you can tell that this finger was severed. This and not by this dog. This was like a clean cut from
Okay.
probably some sort of implement, weapon or something like that. And you also remember, right, that that the victim you saw previously had all of his fingers. So this is somebody else's finger. And I will say it has, you can tell with your critical success, it's been cut off in the last 24 hours.
So after the murders that we know about.
Well, no later than 24 hours. It could be
Great.
sooner than that. Yeah. It's been hours, right, that it's been cut off.
Is this
Possibly.
the worm?
Yeah. And
Does-
it is
Oozing a little?
and the ring is fancy. This is like you must have been a noble to have this style of ring.
So no calluses or anything either.
No calluses. No smooth baby
Ooh.
hands.
Does that have like
Um,
a friendship
baby.
manager?
you know what? With your critical success, you probably see that there's like some kind of dye or paint or something, just a
Ooh, a
little spot.
lacquer.
on the-
Kind of like you might find in the home of a wealthy artist. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody took notes, and I'm so excited.
I literally have up the notes that James sent us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I emailed you all. I took notes.
I'm just
Alright.
gonna like take the finger and just put it in my pocket for later because I know we're gonna need it for something. Like this is gonna be part of the big reveal later on where I'm like, aha!
And this just adds to your collection as well.
I
of
will give you a
fingers.
fortune point for that. That's good.
You put it
do
into a
have
bag,
6
and there's like a
fingers
bunch of
on
other
Yeah, a bunch of
fingers.
other fingers. This one goes in the finger
Roll
bag.
a d6 to get the right finger.
No, Barbara does have an extra finger on her right hand. It's in the character sheet.
Oh.
Oh,
Fingers are
sorry.
sort of my jam. So I'll just like take that and save it for later, and then turn to
Finger jam.
Giles and be like, shouldn't we investigate the crime scene?
Well, yeah.
I don't know what's happened to my accent. It's changed now, and I sound like the professor. But here we are.
Yeah. So while Barbara's looking at the finger, I want to ask 2 questions about the scene. One, is there anybody else around under the drawbridge down by the docks? And 2, the dog was digging where it found the finger.
Mm-hmm.
So like, can I like check out the little hole and see if there's more down there?
Yeah, make a so there's the dog is like following you around now because you have
Perfect,
given
yes.
it jerky.
I'm gonna make a leash out of my belt.
Oh boy. Okay.
This is gonna be my dog now.
All right. I love it.
Our dog, everybody.
Great. You party dog. I am all for it. There is nobody else around. But there are like footprints and what looks like maybe there was foot traffic in this area at some point. And when you go to dig, you can see that like it looks like the dog was trying to dig up like the remnants of a cook fire where somebody was maybe like trying to cook their dinner or that sort of thing.
That's where the finger was.
Well, the finger was in the dog's mouth. But you can see in the sand, right? Sure signs that like there was a scuffle here. The footprints tell the tale. There's probably a little bit of blood still in the sand of the bank. It's a little harder to tell here than it would be in the alley just because of the sort of natural ebb and flow of the river and that kind of thing.
You said this is like a mastiff kind of dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big old brown mastiff, sort of like a. I'm trying to think of that comic, Marmaduke.
Like Marmaduke?
Marmaduke. Yeah. It's a
I
big
hate
old.
that I summoned that knowledge.
Can I tell you
Also,
something?
Marmaduke's not a mastiff.
No, he's a Great Dane.
Oh, that's
Oh.
true. He is a Great Dane. It's a Great Dane, and
Oh.
it looks like Marmaduke.
So like
Okay.
Scooby-Doo.
Retconning, because Andrews McMeel, who makes Zweihander, also publishes collections of Marmaduke. So
Nice.
it's on brand, everybody.
Gotcha.
Little,
I
This is like
genuinely thought
Crossover.
you
This
were-
is like the
Yeah.
Marvel Universe.
yeah, this is the MCU of Andrews McMeel.
Yeah,
Nice.
Andrews
I
McNeil.
really
I?
thought you were gonna say the Marmaduke official TTRPG.
The Marma
Supplement
Universe.
It's
Marma
true.
Duke
It will be
Okay,
using
but
the
then we have to
5e
do this
engine.
differently.
We can't talk about that. We're under NDA.
Yeah.
Can I kind of pull out the little gray threads
Mhm.
and sort of hold them in front of the not mastiff's face,
Chewy.
Mhm.
Chewy's face, to see if he can get a good whiff and see if he like picks up a trail. I don't know. He's probably not a tracking dog, but we can try.
Sure. Yeah.
We have no idea.
This is great.
That dog's a protagonist now. He's a dragon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, he's
We
in the
are
party.
his.
This is
That
now
dog is the
dog
main
hander.
character.
Make it. I think this is going to be an animal handling check, and I think I'm making a survival test for the dog.
I have pretty decent handle animal.
But you don't have the threads.
I
Mm.
can, that's fair. Go
Stay in your lane, jerky boy.
be over here
You're
digging around.
digging for a cook fire right now.
Mhm. You're not wrong.
Sure.
I will kind of like, because Barbara, though she kind of resembles something feral, is not much of an animal person. So she's just gonna kind of like have the threads out and sort of like nod in the dog's direction to see if you can give it some encouragement, maybe.
Sure. Yes, I will encourage the dog to smell the threads.
Okay. So when you hold them up,
It
the
sounds
dog
so silly when you say it like that.
the dog will definitely
Fucking
give
jest.
and sniff. I don't know if that came through or not.
Yeah,
but,
perfect.
oh.
Sounded very dog-esque.
Great. So the dog will give that sniff, and sort of look at you expectantly.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, all right. So
So
I
I'm
think
hoping that this dog understands what I need.
the dog will look at you, sniff again, and starts to lead you up the bank of the river. Like starts walking up the bank of the river and then turns expectantly and looks at you.
I follow.
Yeah,
And I'll turn back to Giles and go, well, that was really easy.
right. That was amazing. Great. Yeah.
Um,
I'm glad I have a leash for this dog.
and so you are walking and following this dog, and as you are headed to where the dog is leading you, you see Black Eden and the professor. You like join up and are walking on the same path with the dog now leading you.
I don't know if that worked the way that we really wanted it to.
I mean, we're still going.
Yeah.
Finding out where Chewie's taking us. Hey.
Hey.
You all!
Hey. Oh,
This is our new dog.
I know you. I know you. I say, and I point to you.
That's right, the professor. You do know us. This is our new dog. This is Chewie.
Chewie.
We found him chewing on something, so I
Oh.
named him Chewie.
What'd you find him chewing on?
Delightful.
This!
Like a
And I'll
stick?
pull out the
A
finger
fun
and
stick?
just hand it to
Oh,
Absolutely.
Finger joint manipulation is illegal in the ring. All right. Well, keep following
Is the
that
ring
dog.
still on the finger?
Oh, yeah. Or did
I
you take
wouldn't
the?
have taken it off.
Oh.
You wouldn't have. Yeah, I think that Black Eden will be like, ooh, oh. Nice. That's nice. That's a delight.
Do you know anything about it? It looks fancy, but I don't.
I've blackmailed a lot of rich people. Can I like scrutinize or
Yeah, you can make
skullduggery? No, I'm just kidding.
you could make a folklore
Folklore?
or there's
Rumor?
one other option. Hang on.
Tradecraft, maybe? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, tradecraft would I think that would make sense.
Okay.
I can
I'm
tell
not
you-
good at it.
Education?
Ooh, education. No.
Scrutinize is actually what it says in the adventure that I wrote here apparently, which is what you suggested, TK. So I'm sorry.
I'm
No.
only good at education, so I'd like to do that one.
Great.
Ew, wait, no, that's gross. I hate that. Well, that's fine. I still have to beat a 50 either way. 80. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Ew.
confusing.
Oh, never mind. I think it's costume jewelry. It's probably glass.
Can I confirm that with my counterfeit skill?
That's a much better idea. What the fuck am I doing?
Sure. Yeah, you could roll counterfeit to see if this is real.
I continue to pass the whole finger around,
Yeah.
not
Right.
just the ring.
Yeah, I don't.
Sure.
I just like.
Need to touch
I
it.
let Barbara put it like on the point of my rapier.
It's
like,
oh,
ew.
this is
Or like a
You're
cocktail
about to
sausage.
roast a weenie over the
Yeah.
fire.
I don't like this.
I needed a 50 and I got a 44.
Okay.
Oh,
I
critical.
gotta start lying. What the hell?
It is definitely real. It is a
I
real,
feel
for sure, real ring.
this is a physical object.
Is it a signet ring?
Yeah.
Like, does it have any-
No, so it doesn't have like a coat of arms or anything. It appears to be just and I guess like a very around a thick meaty finger.
What the fuck?
It's probably information that may or may not be helpful.
Mm,
Hungry now.
unbalanced sausage finger. Great.
Yeah, it looks like it's maybe like just a fancy piece of accoutrement that
Gotcha.
someone would wear.
Do you
It's not like
all
it's
remember
fancy.
the two folks that disappeared from that artist's home?
Yes.
Well, does this look like paint to you? And I'm gonna hold up the finger right in front of his face, like the nub is right by his nose. and
Also-
say, does this look like paint to you?
I don't know why I didn't ask. Which finger is it?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, good. That is a great question. It
you.
is
One option.
in.
Right?
You're gonna give us the finger, man. You got to give us the finger.
Yeah.
It's the 7th finger. You know.
Oh.
The
It's an
7th.
index finger.
The
Oh,
extra finger.
A pokey
What do I call the
Yeah,
one that comes
exactly,
up like
yeah.
this?
Or it could be another thumb, I
The
guess.
6th phalange.
It just grows right out of the middle of your palm. And then.
That's so much worse
I
than
like that,
any
'cause
other
then you have a
option,
ring
Jane.
and it's like a ring toss.
So visceral for me.
You go to shake someone's hand and it's just the most unsettling feeling.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
for some reason it's always a little damp.
Okay.
Can you imagine picking up like you go to the movies with someone, you reach over into like a thing of popcorn?
And there's
I need
a
to
hand
make a
with
real life
uh,
resolve check.
Yeah.
So
I like that of all the stuff we've talked about so far. This is the thing that.
So
I
you
don't
said-
care if TK pegs my dad.
I like
So she is holding
It's
up
with
the guiles, and they are looking and seeing if the paint is real now. This is what we're doing.
Oh, is that?
it real
I
paint?
thought you were counterfeiting the ring.
I was.
I
but
mean,
now-
it's hard to tell. That unclear if it's paint or dye but it's like it's it's not gangrene. That's for sure.
got it.
Yeah.
It's not like plaster or
Oh,
something that you would use in sculpting.
you said unclear. Well, we could just take like our thumb
Yeah.
and like scrape
Oh
it.
yeah,
right?
that's sculpting. That's what Father Pierre was a sculptor. I
Father
believe?
Pierre was a sculptor.
Yes.
Hale Larkspur and Proctor Lamb were retainers of a wealthy artist.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
Did you say
when you go
retainers?
to
So
when you go to scrape it away, if Black Eden,
Yeah.
you do see that it starts to flake away as if it
Okay.
is some sort of like plaster or something
Okay.
like that.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, like
we'll have
a
to.
green, dyed green.
Like a fresco style.
Yeah, yeah.
Fascinating.
I know this is disgusting. We have water flasks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually gonna spit on it, but no. I just
Oh.
put the flakes in my hand and I put a little water on it and I like move it around. Does it dye my hand red, or is it more like a clay like plaster or?
Yeah, it becomes a little bit more moldable. Like certainly some of it would get on
Oh,
your hand and
Okay,
make
so
it
it's
green.
moldable. It doesn't rub in. It's actual. like,
Yeah.
physical. Okay, so it would be like something a sculptor used. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I got us a dog.
Yeah.
And that dog
good
has laid down
Oh.
in front of the door to the chapter house of the martyr.
Oh.
Oh, what a good dog. And I,
Oh, wipe
This
my
is the
hand
point in
off on the
time in which I would
professor.
share with Black Eden and the professor what we found out.
Oh,
Uh,
I'd also
Yeah.
share what we found.
Yeah.
We would download.
Fascinating.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. So you all download each other, and you can see that there is a sign, like a wooden sign, that has. I mean, it's been hung up before. It looks like, right? They pull this out whenever there are no services, and it just says "No services today" on the door.
But this
and
is like
doors are
the
shut.
front entrance. Is there like a rectory or a side entrance or?
I try to open this door.
Yeah, I
question.
can't read. I'm gonna try and go in the front.
Oh, that's right.
So the door is locked.
I can't stop me. I can't read.
I got lockpick. I got keys. To
I mean, we
this.
can knock. We can also knock. We can knock. We don't have to break in immediately.
We can break in second. Second. Don't worry.
Put my
You
lockpick
hear
back
a
in my bag.
We'll break in later. It's all right.
a voice say, "Oh, I'm sorry, no services today."
Open up in the name of the law.
Whoa! Make an intimidate test.
No,
We're
no.
on 10, baby. On 10.
I'm here to take care of the body. I was told that it needed some cleaning up before it was laid to rest.
And there's like a pause, right? Mother Olivia didn't say you were coming.
She was the one who called for me, so I mean, it'll only take 5 minutes. From what I understand, it isn't that bad of a mess in there. So it's it's.
Make a guile test.
In the name of the law,
But you get to add +10. It's pretty believable.
I serve the flaming fist.
Guys, this is not something I'm really good at, but I'm hoping in juxtaposition to open up in the name of the law it works.
Honestly,
Giles the Giles.
Yeah.
Giles the Giles.
Do you have? I would allow you to aid, because you did give the open up in the name of the law, which is sort of sounds like we're all playing in this way. That you're the authorities here to do authority stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So I roll 1d10. Is that what I do?
1d10, yes.
And then Barbara can replace either of her numbers with it.
Correct.
And then if they say no, we can just break in. It'll be a delight. Yeah.
Barbara, you should enjoy.
Exhaust all of our options first.
An 8.
Oh, hard pass. But that's okay because I needed a 45 and I rolled a 43.
Hell yeah!
Excellent.
Wow,
Look at that.
But you can change it into a failure.
This is the only game in which I have ever consistently rolled well, so I don't think we
Let
can end it
us
after 4
break
sessions.
in.
Sorry, guys.
Let's break in.
You hear very well. And there's like a sound of like a deadbolt sliding. And the door opens, and there is a woman in rough spun robes, who is looking at you. She has puffy red eyes as if she's been crying, and she like opens the door and stands to the side to let you in, and she says, I'm Mother Eloise. Please, I can take you to Father Pierre. And you can see stained glass windows right inside show the dove in hand symbol of the martyr. And there are like robed priests healing the sick. This is depicted in the stained glass window, not actually happening. Tending to pregnant women, handing spears to warrior women, and ferrying the dead upon the wings from battlefields to the Well of Souls. You can see at the north end of the room, there is an altar with a pale canvas sheet concealing what is almost certainly a body. And there is a staircase that winds up as well.
Why don't you show me to the father, and I'll you and I can talk through your options, and my assistants here can gather some of the last materials that I need to get started. But and then I'll kind of like shepherd her towards that sheet and away from the other three as quickly as I can. And I'll throw a look over my shoulder to Black Eden and just kind of give a really big obvious wink.
All right.
Thing. No wonder she's so cranky. She must be chafing.
She will go well. So we'll go with you first, Barbara, as you lead Mother Eloise away. And she is just she's tearful, and she says, it is such a shame. Father Pierre was a good man. He really deserved better than this. Someone took him away from us. Revered mother. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, I never got to meet the man per se. Unfortunately, I just got to town myself. But please, I'd love to hear all about him.
Oh, well, he was just such a gifted man. He was something of an artist himself. In addition to being a man of faith, you don't find that many men who are gentle and artistic and faithful, and willing to heal others. Just quite the musician he was. Made many wonderful compositions. I'm not like him or revered Mother Olivia. They're both members of the Fulci movement,
I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. Could you enlighten me?
Oh, you don't know of the Fulci movement? There are chapters all over, but one here in our own very little town. Great artists are invited to join the collective, and oh, they meet and they talk about art and music and all sorts of amazing things. And sometimes they put on galleries or plays. Oh, and it is a delight.
That sounds phenomenal. I mean, surely the townsfolk must love that. I'm sure everyone attends and enjoys themselves.
Oh, yes, of course, yes. But most of the time they're up there in their chapter house swapping secrets, all different kinds of artists, so they rarely all work on the same thing together at once.
So you've never seen this work or heard any of these secrets or anything?
Well, I've never gotten to go to the chapter house unless Father Pierre or Mother Olivia take me sometimes, or they have open events occasionally, like I said, it's showing off an artist's work, a gallery or a play or something like that. So I've been there, but I don't get to go to the meetings. Those
is
are
it-
for members only.
Is the order just the art collective?
Yeah.
Surely someone like you should be able to contribute gifts of your own kind to this movement.
She blushes and she says, "Oh well, I do my best trying to heal the sick and tending to those with child, and I do have many gifts that contribute. I just am not one for words or pictures."
What kind of artist is Mother of Olivia?
Olivia.
Olivia.
Oh yes, the revered mother, the leader of our church too.
So
Well,
revered.
she like motions to the building that you're in as she's leading you through the pews up to the body. In fact, you probably made it to the body. It's not that big a church. And she says she's designed all of this. She's an architect.
That's truly that's incredible.
That's how I feel in real life when someone asks me to appreciate architecture.
Good roof on this building.
Eh.
So this is the body then.
Yes, this is Father Pierre. And she says, revered Mother Olivia was out all last night after we heard what had happened, trying to get to the bottom of the missing people. And now she's back at the conclave, trying to find out what happened to poor Father Pierre.
Quick
don't know.
clarification: wasn't his body found this morning?
It was found. It was found like this morning, but while it was still dark. So
Okay.
night to
okay, sure.
normal folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted to do a quick clarification.
For sure. Yeah. No, that's thank you. Yeah.
Well, you don't think the same thing happened to him that happened to everyone else who's been missing, do you?
Oh. And she says, I don't know. It's very scary, honestly. All of these disappearances. Poor Edgar, also found murdered in the early morning.
Yes, he was stabbed a lot. Was he an artist too?
Oh no, I don't think he was. Not that I know of. He wasn't part of the Fulci anyway.
So that I might be prepared before we pull down this sheet. Do you know how he died? Like how bad? Are we talking?
Oh, he was heavily bruised and bloody. Looked like he had been. Well, it looked like he had been stabbed, but all of his other wounds looked like they weren't meant to kill, and they didn't take anything from him. I don't know what happened.
Why would anyone want to hurt him?
And she shakes her head and she says, I don't know. But I don't know why anybody is being hurt these days.
You are just the sweetest. Could you do me a favor and go get me a jug of water to clean a little bit?
And she will nod, uh, and say, "Oh, I don't. Mother Livia really didn't want anyone to come in and told me to be careful who I let see the body. I should really stay with you. Is that okay?" Uh,
Yes, but I warn you, this might upset you a bit.
and she says, "Well, I've seen my fair share of blood in my time as a priestess of the martyr."
Oh, sweet summer child. All right. And I'll whip back the sheet.
Okay. You do hear her give a little bit of a gasp. You can see that beyond, like up at the altar, right? Normally, a lot of churches, there's like a wall, right? The altar, and then there's like a
Yeah.
a pulpit in the wall. Behind that wall, there is where there would normally be a wall, there is a triptych, like a three folding wall. So there's something behind the triptych. Although you can't see what it is because the triptych is folded out. So there's more to the temple, is basically
Okay.
Like
behind
a
that.
giant DM screen.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a giant DM screen.
Secrets. Great.
Mhm.
Awesome. So he's bruised.
He's bruised and bloody, and when you see him, he's wearing that gray robe that Mother Eloise is also wearing. Um,
Does he have all his fingers?
He hot? Sorry.
He does have all of his fingers. He's, I mean,
11?
hot is in the eye of the beholder.
All right,
But
compare him to a celebrity.
He was apparently a super sexy, sensitive priest. Is all like that's
He
what
was
I'm
Yeah,
taking
that's
away
what
from
I'm
this
getting.
conversation so
super
far.
super sexy, sensitive priest.
Yep.
And we'll
That's what I'm putting
say,
in my notes.
yeah, you want me to compare him to a celebrity? He looks like Idris Elba.
Oh.
Hot, hot,
Super
hot, hot, hot,
So-
hot, hot,
Alright.
hot.
Necromancy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But
Great.
Idris Elba in his most famous role as the seal
Luther?
from Finding Dory. No.
Hot.
Still hot.
Great. I'm also I love the deep cut of Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Big dad energy
Wow.
there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, what a
Listen, you want to
dad
get some big
answer.
dad energy. The great thing about that is that it's actually a The Wire reunion, that scene, because the other seal is the dude who plays McNulty on The Wire.
Dominic
Anyway,
West.
Yeah, Dominic West
That's-
is
I did not know
Very
that. That's
dad
amazing.
energy.
Oh, what a strange alternate timeline this is. Okay, so I'm gonna start just like maybe not ceremoniously. Like this is not a graceful action. There's very little dignity involved in this, but I'm gonna start like scraping off the dirt and the grime and like actually trying to clean him up. You know,
Yeah.
straightening his hair a little bit, maybe trimming it where it needs it.
She comes over and is like strokes his head gently and starts to help you with like the preparation and the preparing of the body.
Eventually we're gonna get to the hands.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna clean underneath his fingernails. Just make sure there's nothing under there that we really need to pay attention to. Maybe some gray threads, you know,
Sure.
human flesh, whatever.
No gray threads under the fingernails. His knuckles do look bruised, as if he were in some sort of fisticuff fight.
Fighting priest.
A fighting priest, indeed.
Kicks ass for the Lord.
However, you do feel like while you are cleaning him up, you feel something in his pocket. Feels like a paper, like a note or something.
Feels like the answer to a riddle.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the paper, but I'm gonna try and do it kind of sneaky. I'm gonna be like, could you fix his eyebrow? It's gonna fly away, and then just reach in and kind of stash it while she's
Sleight of
focused on
hand
it.
that.
Oh fuck.
Listen.
Where is that?
And then we'll get to what the rest of you
Trimming
are
eyebrows
doing,
is
and then we'll
hard.
probably
That
take a break.
needs a sleight of hand.
I don't
Do you mean
see sleight of
stealth
hand.
or skullduggery?
I
James?
mean skullduggery. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
Cool.
And it has
Oh,
an
that's not a big
asterisk.
number.
Also, skullduggery is a trained skill, correct?
Yes. So as a trained skill, this is a fun thing we get to learn about in Zweihander.
Yes.
If you don't have a rank in it, when you use the skill, you do what's called flip to fail.
Oh,
which
shit.
means that if, like, let's say you get a 38 and that would be a success for you, you have to flip it to be an 83.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to dug those
yeah.
skulls.
It's hard to
Yeah.
skulldug in this game.
Okay. Well, this might just not be real smooth then.
Time for you to just do it right in front of her face.
Yeah,
Punch her in the head.
that's not good. That's a 51 against a 40.
Yep.
Okay. Now you do have fortune. It's up
Oh,
to you.
Do it.
Sure.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna do it. Do I
Don't
roll
do
both
it.
or just the percentile?
Punch her in the side of the head.
Just
do it in the open.
You roll both.
I get to
re-roll
punch
both.
priests.
I re-roll
I'd like to
and
initiate combat with.
lady priests. Okay.
Nope, way worse.
Well, is she
Okay.
hot?
She says, "Oh, I can take that, dear," and comes over to you as she sees you pulling out this note.
Ooh.
Read it.
Tell her no.
Well, I
you're the police.
can't. Is the thing I can't read.
Well, yeah.
Amazing.
Hoisted by our own petard.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand it to her, but I'm gonna pay very close attention to what she does with it so that I can just try and steal it back later.
She like pointedly does not read it, and slips it into her robe, but like
Cool.
a pocket in her robe. Yeah.
Great.
Very cool.
So
How
let's.
fresh is this body still? Hold on, like 1 second. I got one last
Oh yeah.
ditch effort here.
It's.
How fresh is this body?
I mean, it's been dead for a few hours, I guess, at this point. So like 4, 5, 6 hours around that window.
Do I know, as a barber surgeon, if there's anything that I could just prod a little bit with my shears right now that would start leaking?
Leak.
I mean, almost certainly, yeah.
Yeah, is the blood coagulated?
Yeah, is it all
Oh, it's
congealed?
probably collected in the torso.
I assume that rigor
gonna be
mortis has set
tensions.
in at this point as well.
Sometimes
this is a lot of questions that I, James,
Very
do
great.
not
Now, there was
know.
one question there. Will it leak if I poke it? Is the only question
Oh
I
well,
need to
yes.
answer.
That I think the answer is yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which
great.
part of it's the
So,
most like a Capri Sun?
I'm
mean,
going
water balloon.
to feign a sneeze,
Uh-huh.
and sort of like halfway double over and poke the body enough that it's gonna start leaking. And while she's distracted by that, I'm gonna try and steal the note back.
Okay, so you are going to gain corruption, which is
Oh.
like whenever you do something a little, shall we say, untoward.
Untoward. He's
Yes,
dead
that's so
already.
long ago.
Dead already.
Well, right, but you're like desiccating the corpse, kind of.
Are you?
Listen, you can gain corruption for all kinds of weird stuff.
All right.
This is just one. This is not a
Look,
lot of corruption.
I accept it for this,
Yeah.
honestly.
Corruption disappears at the end of a session. It's actually a tool used for like long-term gaming. So we probably actually won't get into it much in this in the starter set unless somebody gains a lot of corruption.
Oh,
But it can be used
You're
to
not as
shift
young.
your alignment. So like you probably see on your sheet in Zweihander you have an alignment, but instead of like lawful good, chaotic evil, you have two ends of a spectrum, right? Like maybe zeal
Candor
on
and
one side.
cruelty.
Yeah. So what are yours?
Candor and cruelty.
Candor and cruelty.
Yep.
So like cruelty is the chaos side, candor is the order side of your alignment. As you gain corruption, you move more towards the chaos side, basically. But it takes a long time for that to happen.
I accept this.
Okay.
I accept your terms, GM.
Excellent. But I will say, you do successfully, like you've cut open a lot of bodies. You don't need to roll for this at all. You know where the spray happens.
Messing them up
Um,
isn't the hard part.
And you do get blood all over her robes. And she goes, oh, goodness me. Oh, no. Poor Father Pierre. And she looks at you and she says, forgive me. I have to go change.
Was I able to sneak the note out?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that's going to be another skullduggery test, but I will give you plus 30 for the
Yeah.
for the
Cover
chaos
people in
you've
blood. Your
created.
life gets easier.
That's why that sweet corruption comes in.
Ha! Okay, so here's the thing. I rolled a 44, which not only is that's like the good thing, right? That's the
Right.
good thing.
Yeah, and it can't be flipped.
Yeah, even if I flip it, it's still a 44, which is still a success.
So yeah, you absolutely get the note, and while you're in there, you feel I mean, this is a super success, right? So
Yep.
while you're in there, you feel a little coin purse. You could take that too if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna rob the Holy Lady. Why not?
Okay, you're gonna gain another 2 corruption.
Great.
But you do
Can't bait
now
me
have
like
a
this, James.
pouch that has 6 silver shillings in it and 2 gold crowns.
Oh my goodness.
Fuck.
Man, she was
I
loaded.
legit thought
so
that James was
rich.
gonna say while your hand is in the pocket,
Oh no.
you feel another finger.
Oh
There's
yeah.
a
I
bear
thought there was gonna be
trap in
something.
there.
The whole as Acme Corporation.
So
There's another bomb. What the fuck?
It's another hand, and it holds yours.
So, the big question is, what are the Professor and Giles and Black Eden doing while Barbara is on her magical mystery blood tour?
I don't know.
Sure.
All right, so I'm gonna hand off the leash to Chewie. I'm gonna hand it off to the professor.
I'm gonna tie him up.
Great, solid choice. And then I would like while Barbara is doing her thing, I would like to possibly use my stealth skill to go and check the back of house of this church.
So right now, you want to try to get into the triptych, is what you're saying, like behind the triptych? Is that?
I mean, my goal here is to find where they keep their gray robes, and see if I can find one that has like blood and like possibly threads missing.
So if I may paint a word picture for you,
yeah.
There is where you are all
James, you can also email an actual picture to everybody.
I can, but there's stuff there that I don't want everybody to see.
Oh,
so
well, the viewers are seeing it now. So
well, the viewers, that's great if the viewers are seeing it. That's totally fine. But you
Viewers,
can
what do you see? Tell us.
Tell
Thanks for
us.
spending your Valentine's Day with us, by the way, viewers.
So yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Me and my partner are doing right now. We're in the chat with you guys.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you.
Dan with
Sean
big
and
greeting
Sean
card.
Carter.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can back where you are. You're in the back of the church, right? So think of it this way: you're in the back. You can see up in the front where the altar is that there is a lively conversation between Mother Eloise and Barbara right now. Behind, or like past them, you all can see the triptych. But in addition, this is a 2-story building, and you can see there are also stairs that lead up
to our right.
To your right.
I, Sean, have snuck through enough churches in my time. I'm gonna listen. I used to like study anything. Anyway, I'm gonna go upstairs. Are the stairs back here with us or up front?
The stairs are back with you.
Yeah, they're kind of out of line of sight. If you could probably sneak up there without Mother Olivia noticing.
Yeah, you could if there's anything you want to do, like behind Mother Eloise. You can do that probably without making a check. Now the question is, how are we doing this? Is everybody splitting up? You're going up the steps?
Well, I feel like Giles has a better chance of actually sneaking past Mother Eloise to get past the triptych. If Black Eden and the professor want to just go up the stairs, if that doesn't take a check.
Yeah, Black Eden is not an
Investigatory.
Yeah. Type of person. She's more of a talker.
Yeah, I'm
and a
definitely not an
listener.
investigative type of
So
person.
yeah, I think that I'm gonna
I'm
mostly.
more of a puncher and choker. But
Damn, son.
Choker.
not
Byron
her. No, those are
Curtis, I mean,
punt.
shit.
Those are both one words. Okay.
How many points of corruption is that, James?
Well, I think we established in the beginning that the professor only punches dads with consent.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so no corruption.
I was about to make the joke like, I don't know, is he a dad? Yeah, so I'm gonna be focusing on like awareness and eavesdropping, which are two things I'm good at. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna focus on what I know.
I guess
And-
just like looking around, is there anything that like I got? I'm always looking for secret doors. Secret doors going down. I know what kind of world this is. There's some sort of underground fighting pit, and I've been in enough churches with
Yeah.
a underground ring.
What do
So-
we roll to figure out if this church has like an eyes wide shut vibe to it?
Yes,
I mean, it's a very beautiful
vibes.
church.
Can I
It's-
make a
it's
vibes
probably
check? Yeah,
best looking building that you've
Yeah.
seen.
vibes
We
are
want
off.
the libertine sex cult vibes. What are those?
What? Yeah,
It
what check
looks
is
like-
that?
I mean, other than the fact that it looks very nice for a small village,
Mhm.
it looks, looks
Pretty
like a normal
normal,
church.
yeah.
There's
I'm
no,
noting
no
all of
eyes
the
wide
interesting
shut.
architectural
Right.
details. Giles is super into the architecture of this place.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just
Yeah.
watching Giles sneak upstairs.
Yeah, is there like a naked like sculpture that like you push the titties like a secret door?
So you all could make a awareness check to see if you can see any secret doors.
Are there any
Giles-
phallic shaped ritual candles?
Are you going up the steps or are you
There are
going
now.
for the triptych?
I'm gonna go for the triptych.
I felt-
It sounds like the more dramatically interesting choice.
Okay,
Valentine's
then
Day.
you should make a stealth test. Are you Black Eden the Professor? Let me know what you get for your awareness.
I failed.
test. Okay,
Okay.
this is plus
Awareness.
0.
So I have to beat a 60 because I'm trained in awareness.
We have fortune. We still have fortune.
I have rolled
Yeah,
a
I'll spend a fortune. Well, wait, no, I can't do that. I'm not gonna spend a fortune.
Oh,
'Cause
you
I'm
crit
cursed.
failed.
Oh yeah, well, and I'm cursed, so whenever
Oh.
I
What's
spend
that
this
mean?
fortune, I have to roll a chaos die, and if the result is a 6, I have to spend 2 fortune instead of 1.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And I just don't want to spend him on this.
Do it. You can take my
Yeah.
fortune. Do it.
Didn't you spend a fortune already?
Did I?
Yeah.
You,
I think you
you
Yeah, and
did
I
spend
failed.
1 fortune.
Just
yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
You can't spend
Yeah,
mine because I already spent
no,
it.
because that leaves us with.
Oh,
But I
it's
got
group.
one.
It's
I
group.
got an
It's group
extra.
fortune.
Yeah.
Just why is it
But
worth?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
got
still
I got a
4 fortunes in the pile.
99.
99.
So
Oh, so you can't re-roll
Really?
anyway because
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
re-roll
Yeah.
critical failures.
yeah.
So we'll get to that in a second.
I'm looking
but
at the
you-
sculptures and I'm thinking, what would be a great sculpture? That duck we saw when we were
Titties.
coming down
Oh.
the barge.
God.
Like that duck
By
deserves
the way,
to
if
be
anyone's wondering, my
bronzed and
corruption
remembered.
is order, romanticism, and
Oh.
chaos lechery.
Oh.
So it's
There
gonna
you
be a
go.
rough fight.
So dads better beware.
Dads beware. I'm coming for you, dads. I know where you live.
What about the stealth test? How did that go?
Sure. I had a goal of 55 and I got a 23.
Nice.
Okay, great. So
First thing
Let's
I do is I
first-
put the cigarette out on that little bowl of water near the door
mhm.
because I know that cigarette smoke's going to give me away.
Mm.
I
In the
know,
bowl
nice.
of water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's usually like a bowl of water near.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
holy water.
the holy water.
It's usually
Holy
holy
water.
water.
The blessed water.
I think that warrants corruption to ash
Yeah.
into the holy water. At
Yeah,
the
you're
door.
right. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Way trashier than stabbing
You-
a dead priest.
Yeah, that
gain
body was
1
already
corrupt.
dead.
Yeah,
I would-
but it wasn't just. It was also to spray.
That's
a
true. It had
woman
it
with
had
blood.
it was
All
not an
right,
accident.
well, if that woman didn't want to be robbed,
was
she
ulterior
wouldn't put her money in
motives.
her pocket either.
No,
so
no, we're
have so
not.
much money.
No.
what?
How many corruption was that, James?
Just 1.
Okay, I have moved 1 from my. I've moved 1 away from independence and towards rebellion.
Okay.
Rebellion.
Rebellion.
So, we are now. Let me think about. You have a critical failure here on your awareness test, Black Eden.
Yeah. Thanks.
And I think you are like looking around for secret doors. There's none anywhere that you or the professor can see. But you hear a voice in your head.
Rude. Don't like that.
And it says, hungry. Gifts for souls. And I need you to make a resolve test for me.
Okay. First question. Are they hot? Do they sound hot?
They sounded like I just sounded. So.
All right. Well, give or take. Second question. Does
So
it
probably not.
make you want to go nicer on me knowing that my birthday's in a month?
It does not.
Yeah, fuck you, James.
Remember when you called me old before all this?
Yeah, you're old. What is the number
Stop,
that
stop.
I have to beat for a resolve? What is that?
So this is
Where
going
is
to
it?
be at -10.
Ooh.
It doesn't matter. I failed it either way
Okay.
because I got like a 49.
So,
Cool.
it's all good. It's all good.
Well, doesn't feel good. Feels bad. Feels retaliatory.
So, TK, we are now going to talk about peril thresholds.
Ooh.
I like that.
So, you may have noticed your character doesn't have hit points. They have 2 different thresholds. They have a damage threshold and they have a peril threshold.
I don't
Now,
like
they
that.
work in similar ways. So, what happens is you have a ladder of things, right? You start, in the case of your peril threshold, you start at unhindered. And then each time that threshold is exceeded by peril, which peril is a representation of the stress you are under, both mental and physical stress, as you are under things, you can move down that ladder, right? So you can move from. So TK, what is your peril threshold? The big number for your.
In the big square, it's a 5.
It's a 5. Okay.
Well, don't say it like that. I was like,
So whenever you take peril, right, it is each instance of it needs to at least beat 5 in order to move you down the ladder. Then you probably have other numbers next to that that are 11 and 17 and 23.
yeah.
Is that right? So that is if you take a lot of peril, like if you take 12 peril, you move 2 steps down because it
Ooh,
beats your second
heroic.
threshold, which is 11.
Okay.
Right? And then it beats your next threshold. So that sort of thing. So that is the idea. And so so in this case, you're taking 6 peril,
Okay.
which is enough to move you 1 down. So you go from unhindered to imperiled, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there is no mechanical effect for imperiled, but after that, there starts to be impacts. You start to
Yeah.
ignore skill ranks, basically.
So, like, stress-wise, I just found out that I'm scheduled for Black Friday.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to think about it.
Thanks. I've worked a lot of Black Fridays.
It's yeah. So
I'm
so you
thinking
don't-
about this duck, and I see Black Eden like
Mhm.
shaking next to me or something. Is something wrong, or
Oh, I just need a little bit of air. I'm just going to I'm gonna go have a seat and just let me know if you find anything. And I'm just gonna like sit down and think about, I don't know, existential dread.
Okay, cool. So you're going to think about existential dread. You look around and Giles has disappeared.
Neat.
Giles, you do manage to slip behind that triptych, and we'll talk about what's back there in a second. But
Next
first, I want to see Mr. Professor. Are you doing
I
anything
mean,
else?
not really, I guess. I'll just stand around. I assume Giles gave me like a cheeky wink before disappearing, so I have some idea of where they were going. So I'm just gonna like run interference if the priestess decides to go in the direction of where Giles went. For now, I'm just gonna look like I'm pretending to look at things and be impressed
Ooh.
by the
Great.
architecture.
Sorry, every time I think of Giles like it disappearing in like the flashes, I think of Job from Arrested Development.
It's an illusion,
It's
Michael.
an
Trick is something a
illusion.
whore does for money.
Apparently, you can't put holes in the bottom of boats.
made a massive mistake.
I made a
uh,
mistake.
so Giles, as you slip back there, you notice that you are in like a little scarcity, which is for those who are unfamiliar, a preparation room kind of in a church where, if this were a Catholic church, it might be where you get your communion stuff all laid out and ready to rock, your decanting wine or whatever. And within here, you can see that there are religious vestments and litanies recorded on scrolls to the martyr and that sort of thing. But there is something very interesting that you don't recognize as far as like stuff that belongs to the Temple of the Martyr. There is a statue. And hang on. Just want to make sure that I'm getting the description right. Um,
I'm gonna go ahead and start putting on the vestments.
yeah.
Take out my holy symbol of the martyr, which is in my character sheet. I'm trained in disguise. All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't think of this because I'm also trained in disguise, but I think it's gonna go great, honestly.
Nice. Yes.
And when you're saying vestments, these are not like the normal day-to-day gray robes. These are like what they wear for services.
Easter Sunday robes.
So these are like these are vestments that they would use for a service, right? Often they're wearing these rough gray spun robes because they get blood on them and stuff like that. They're helping heal people and performing surgeries. They have many of the same skills as Barbara, priests of the martyr.
Well, I'm going to try to
All
disguise
feature,
myself
no
as a priest of the
flaw.
martyr.
So what you see here is like the image of a like an genderless person who is standing with a chisel in one hand, and they are looking out. They're wearing long robes, and again, like indeterminate as far as any sort of like gender qualifiers on this individual. They look rather tall and statuesque as they are looking out, just with this like artist's chisel in one hand. And gives you kind of like an eerie feeling to be in the same room as this thing.
How big is it?
It is about 6 feet tall.
Oh, so it's like person-sized.
Yeah, it's a big statue.
put it in my pocket. I would like to. Are there any other exits from this area?
Great question. There is behind this statue a closed door.
Okay.
That's it.
I want to make sure I've, to the best of Giles's ability, scoped this area out.
Okay.
I'm going to disguise myself as a priest of the martyr. I have my martyr holy symbol. I just take it out from my shirt.
Okay.
Instead of putting on like the vestments, I'm just gonna put on the I'm gonna take the holy symbol out, and if there's anything smaller that I can be like, oh yeah, I happened to be on a boat and heard that there was some trouble here, so I'm here to help. That's my goal.
Okay.
Like I was traveling through and came by, and Mother Eloise told me about poor Father Pierre, and then I'm gonna go for that door.
The other door, not the triptych.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Go further into the maze of this place.
All right. And what is your intent?
My intent is to. My thought process is like, I know that we found that gray thread. I know that Chewie brought us here after smelling the gray thread. I want to see if I can find evidence of like a robe that has blood on it from like some sort of confrontation. If I can possibly find people to trick into telling me things.
Gotcha.
As a traveling, as a revered father, Vermont of the martyr.
I meant more, how do you approach the door?
Oh, I walk up and I turn the handle.
Okay.
Classic.
I was like, what?
But
Oh, we're going for the obvious choice here. All right. Well,
I understood that question quite.
So please make me a toughness test, as when you touch the door, a force passes through you. And it's at -10.
Oh, good. So I'm trying to hit a
phantom peg. Sorry.
25.
25.
Well, that's a 47.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna use
Do it.
one of the things.
Do it.
Give him misfortune.
One of the Scooby snacks.
Use a Snoopy sack.
Chewy snack.
A what?
Scooby snack.
Yeah.
There's no Oh, that's a 22, y'all.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Great use of
Solid
fortune.
Scooby snack.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You
Lie.
open that door.
I will show you the dice.
No, you don't
So-
have to.
Per
I
week.
super believe you.
I will drive to Kentucky right now.
Do it right now, coward.
The door is locked.
Oh.
And you do feel a magical force attempt to harm you in some way as you feel this force rush through your body, but you manage to resist it. But the door is indeed locked. However, because you got a critical success, I am going to say that you have drained the magic from this. Like, the magic had one shot,
Ooh.
and it has used it all on you and has failed to do anything. So
Fucking
there's no
blew
longer
it.
magic on the door.
All right. Ow. Can I try to unlock the door?
Sure. How?
I have lockpicks.
A little
Oh,
kiss,
all right. There you
little
go.
Smooch.
Yeah, let's skullduggery it up.
Cool.
Are you trained in skullduggery?
I am trained in
Oh,
skullduggery.
awesome.
Ooh.
Right.
So says my character sheet. So say we
I
don't.
think I'm the only one who isn't.
No,
Nope,
I'm not
I'm
trained
not
in
either.
skullduggery.
Oh.
I'm the only one that is. So if I'm trained in it, how does that work?
It just
just a
means you
normal
won't
roll.
flip to fail.
I don't flip the
Yeah.
fail. And
It's
I
bad.
make it
It's yeah, exactly.
Just means you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just amateurs.
This church isn't a boat. I'm good.
Yeah. Put a hole in it.
All right, so I'm trying to hit a 55, and I got a 54.
Hell yeah.
Use your
Okay.
card tricks.
So you have the lock click. At the same time, you hear behind you a Mother Eloise. Oh dear, I must go change. And Mother Eloise passes through the pews covered in blood. Yes.
I'm gonna trip and fall and land in front of her and try and trip her.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Is she even is she coming towards the triptych, or is she going upstairs?
She was going upstairs.
I'm gonna pretend. Oh, she's going up.
Push her up the stairs.
Yeah. She
Oh,
was
my
going
bad. My
back.
bad. My bad. I thought
To the pews.
she was going towards
Oh,
Giles.
gotcha. Okay.
So never mind.
Yeah, no. That's I did a bad job describing.
Yes.
She is headed back towards the steps to like go up the steps to
Okay.
presumably where.
Will
a change of
she
clothes for her
see
are.
Giles at any point on? No, right?
No,
Okay.
Giles has already gone past her, so Giles went this way and she's coming this way.
Does she say anything to me as she walks by me, or just like I'll give her a nod or whatever? Or
Yeah, I mean, she saw you all come in. She
Yeah.
opened the door for you, so you're just
She's
chilling.
covered in blood.
Yeah, so she's beelining. them.
This looks like the work of Barbara Sturgeon, the Barbara Sturgeon.
Barbara
So
Sturgeon
yeah,
Barbara
and you
Sturgeon.
hear her go upstairs to get changed.
Cool.
Yeah. So now you are all alone currently in the chapel, and by all alone, I mean Mother Eloise is not there.
All right. I'll look around more.
Can someone read this?
Oh, yes. I will go over to the body and Barbara Sturgeon and see what's going on over there.
Okay. So, the note says, "We need more. Bring us Morrow Tweed."
What the fuck?
Morrow.
You know,
Tweed.
Morrow Tweed is the name of the individual who you chased down
Oh.
this morning in the alley.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that Black Eden that we discussed figuring things out and how it is inside here before bringing Morrow Tweed here. So I am very alarmed at this. And
Isn't he waiting for you right now?
yes, he is, which is why I'm going to speed walk out of here. Grab Black
examine the
Eden
note?
on the way out.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, Barbara.
I'll
If
hand
you're
it over.
if you're happy leaving, that's fine. If you want to like say goodbye or anything, and hang out, that's fine too. But
Everyone else just pieces one in the back.
you're doing your own
Someone's
thing.
still
I
playing
guess
with
we're
the dead
taking the
body.
dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but-
can I take a look at this note real quick?
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to Black Eden.
I just wanna make Black Eden at least slightly as knowledgeable as I am about 1700s calligraphy. Can I ask about the hand that this is written in? Is it steady? Was this written on a desk, or is this like something that's scrawled on like a crumpled up piece of paper? Is it likely is it nice quality parchment, et cetera, et cetera?
So it is nice quality paper. It looks like it was
Mhm.
written in a fairly steady hand, although probably fairly
In haste.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, not with particular care.
Yeah.
But whoever it is has very good handwriting naturally.
Okay, so basically what I'm trying to deduce from this is whether or not the person is well off or educated.
Mm.
Yes, it does
and
appear.
kind of stationary would be- okay.
Yes, appears to be the answer to.
So a person of means. Okay.
Yeah, or a person who would have had formal.
Access. Means or
formal
access.
learning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, awesome. I'm going to was this crumpled up or was it folded?
Folded.
Folded. Okay, so that means that I think that Black Eden, regardless of being correct or incorrect, would deduce that the father folded it himself
Hmm.
and put it in his pocket, as opposed to crumpling up and being like, "I'm not interested in this." Yeah, I think that Black Eden will go ahead and like very like quietly whisper to both well, whisper shout, I guess, stage whisper to Barbara and the professor and explain to them what they have deduced from this note. It's just like, seems to be someone with education and means to at least quality paper materials.
Do we think it has anything to do with this artist collective?
Could be maybe a lesser noble or at least somebody who's had some schooling.
We should ask the constable what she knows about the Fulci collective, and we
Indeed.
also need to make sure that Morrow Tweed is not dead or stolen. So
Yes,
let
I
us-
have to assume that she must not have known much about the collective, or else she would have brought it up as a
yeah,
connection between several of the missing people.
yeah. That seems like there's a pretty obvious thread there. All right,
Hmm.
I need to go make sure that my informant is where I told him to go.
We will also communicate to Barbara where
Yeah.
Giles has gone.
Oh,
do we
all
did
that.
do we know what Giles is doing, or just that he vanished?
Did you
with
like
the
wink?
cheeky-
You winked at me, right? So that tells me all
Yeah,
I need
I-
to know.
I probably was like,
Sneaky smuggler
look
stuff.
out for Chewie. I'm gonna take a look around.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
In
Yeah.
true Barbara fashion, like I'm gonna turn around and go back to working on the body because
Yeah,
I did
okay.
come here with the intention of making it like it would be more suspicious not to
course.
finish
Sure.
the
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
right?
Oh, I'll also ask, does he have all his fingers? Was the finger this one?
This
or-
seems to be an extra still. We don't
Mm,
know who it
extra.
belongs
All
to.
right.
but-
Why don't we go ahead and take it then, and perhaps we can find, if we happen to be out and about, perhaps we'll find somebody who recognizes the ring, or
Great question. Yeah.
Make sure you attach it to the right hand though, because otherwise you're never
Well,
be able to get it off again.
I'll do my best to attach it to the stump that a finger is missing from.
All right, here you go. Give me a hand.
Horrible. Just put it in the pouch, actually.
You've got to hold it really tight. You might lose it.
Oh, the professor, please.
All right. I've seen some accidents in the ring, and fingers have
Appreciate
come
it.
unattached. So I'll take it and
Disgusting. It's probably cursed.
put it
I'll
in my
use it
money
to wave
pouch.
at Black Eden first, and then I'll put it in the professor.
Horrible.
All right.
Ah.
So, Black Eden and the professor are headed to the full tankard.
Yes.
Okay.
They're close, right?
Yes.
The full tankard and
Yeah,
the
full
Should
tankard.
be
Yeah.
A few blocks
Yeah,
away.
okay.
While also having communicated to Barbara that we don't want Mother Eloise to go into where Giles has
Yes, that is well.
Yeah.
That we saw.
Yeah.
He went to the triptych.
gone. You're not gonna
Okay.
fucking trip me up this time.
Hey, listen. I'm not here to
You're
trip
not
up
gonna
any-
let me trip myself up this
He's
time.
here to
Well-
adjudicate in a third-person manner. So
Yeah, I'm just
He
here.
has no
I'm a
biases.
facilitator for fun.
there it is.
Is that's me, the old FFF.
Yeah, emphasis on
fucking fun facilitator.
Yeah, fucking fun facilitator. So you two head out to the full tankard. You're taking the dog with you.
No.
No. Let's leave the dog here. It doesn't make sense. Well, I think it makes more sense to leave the dog with Barbara, just because number one, the dog's already like imprinted on them, so we have no
Yes.
guarantee that this dog's going to listen to our commands, and I
Yes.
don't have jerky. That
The
sounds
jerky's my
horrible.
jerky. I need that for post-workout protein.
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
not
it
sharing
needs
my
the
jerky with the
protein.
dog.
Yeah, for sure. Disgusting.
I
Um,
100% don't even pay attention if you leave the dog. So
Which is fine. I also don't want a situation where above game. I don't want a situation where we get ambushed and the dog is not helpful, or y'all get ambushed and you don't have the dog that could be helpful.
Yes, that's true as well.
look,
Well,
if anyone's getting ambushed, it's Giles, and he did this to himself. So
Yeah,
I mean,
which I'm fine with.
okay, great. So you head off to the full tankard. The dog is still in the chapel with
I
Barbara.
kind of grumble to the dog as I work. I'm like,
Yeah.
I
We
can't
did
believe that they
tie-
left
we
you
did
here.
Yeah,
tie-
the dog should be
all
tied to like
alone.
the entrance
Yeah.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a railing.
The dog is probably pulling a pew,
Pulling a
to
pew,
try
yeah.
to get to you. Like,
Okay.
slowly, every now and then you hear like a.
Oh,
This dog is
no.
pulling
Breaks on
like
the
an
stone
entire ass baptismal font. It's just like a
Oh.
little...
Yeah, like a classic Marmaduke, you know.
Yeah.
Barbara doesn't
Classic
believe in chaining up
Marmaduke.
animals, so she'll free it. if
Buy
you
Buy
tie
the
it up
newest
anyway.
Marmaduke collection at andrewsmcneil.com.
I think also is
sponsored.
like, like we know this dog has a little bit of a taste for human flesh.
It was
And is
only
probably like
Human?
looking up at you expectantly as you
dog.
work, Barbara.
Same.
you didn't
There's
you
not
take
a
the
lot
liver off of a former dead body? I think you took the liver
I
out of that.
did.
Did.
But that was a different dead body.
You have snacks though.
So there's another liver
So-
in this dead body.
Oh no, I'm not going to say this. We'll
okay,
say
guys.
this later.
Listen,
Never
I've
mind.
done a lot of things that were questionable in this game. I am not feeding parts of a priest to a dog in the holy church that he served. Like,
not
I
until
have
the
a
nun
line.
comes back.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I'll save it and feed him outside.
Gotcha.
That's
But-
how it's
That
done.
you
But,
won't
like, I
get
do
corruption.
trim off
You'll
all
get
the good
corruption if
fat
you're
and
in the
take it
church,
with
but if
me.
you're outside the church,
Yeah,
it's probably
yeah.
good.
In the interest of economics, how many dead bodies
Are we talking crossbow
could
bolts
we
again?
get for 2 crowns?
How
to
many
feed a
crossbow
dog?
bolts can we get for a dead
So you
body?
two are on your way.
Yeah,
over
we're
to
walking.
Yeah,
Once
you're right,
Angered.
you're right,
Speed
you're right.
walking with urgency
This
because
feels
I am
right.
very alarmed at this note.
Okay.
Yeah,
With
guys
urgency.
Are walking.
Giles.
Yeah.
So you open the door and there are stairs that wind down.
I knew it.
Eyes
Sorry,
wide shut.
I knew it. There's got to be some sort of fighting ring down there.
We were
Bye,
talking about
Giles. We'll never see you again.
Yeah, I'm super excited to bring my next character to this game.
So, you
I go down the stairs.
you going down the stairs?
Yeah, obviously.
Love it.
Okay.
I'm committed, man.
So it is dark down here, like darkness, dark.
Okay.
Do you have anything that will allow you to see?
A dull red glow. Sorry.
I
There probably are candles in the scarcity. If you don't,
yeah. I was gonna say I'm gonna go back to the scarcity and grab a candle. Yes.
cool. They don't give off great light, but they give off some.
I mean, is there a different light fixture that I can steal from this church?
Probably not easily.
Candle it shall be.
Okay. So you've got a lit candle as you make your way down winding stairs into a rounded cavern with walls that are made of fossilized bone
Ooh.
I love those. Sorry.
and carved stone. Now, in the dirt, there are 2 round, equally sized holes that mark the floor of this chamber, as well as 2 rows of bumpy protrusions that continue up to the wall like huge teeth set into a jaw and like a skull facing down, like you are standing inside of a skull that is facing downwards. At the crown of this head, there's a large stone altar that is decorated with the image of a tall, muscled person of indeterminate gender with a chisel and hammer and a serious look on their exhausted face. It looks very similar to the statue you saw in the room right above this. Beneath this image, there is a recently inscribed epitaph that says, "Give me your claret, your gore, your sanguine spillings of teeming pour. For that sacrifice, creative inspiration and aesthetic delights shall be yours."
How is poor spelled?
P-O-O-R.
P-O-R-E.
P-O-U-R was the other thing.
Oh, that makes sense. Actually, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
And you
Okay.
can see that this chamber, like, continues back. So you're standing in what looks like a big fossilized skull, and then continues back
Mhm.
beyond the skull into what looks like a chamber that has a spine and rib cage holding up
Mhm,
the ceiling.
Awesome. How far down did I come? Like how? Like
Oh, that's a great question. You're probably at least 20 feet or so down.
great. Yeah, love that. And this is not iconography typical of the martyr.
No.
Great. I'm glad I just knew that.
Mhm.
I pretended to be a priest a number of times.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, there's like, maybe you're not a Christian, but there's some things that ain't Christian. This
Yeah,
is one of them.
no. I mean, Giles has pretended to be a priest a number of times. In order to get certain exotic animals over certain borders, there
Of
are
course.
religious exemptions.
Of course.
Chinchillas.
Dang, I'm
That's how I get
hungry
chinchillas.
again.
So okay, well, my friends are right upstairs. So
Jesus
if
Christ! I just saw the
Hungry
map.
friend.
I put up the map of this, and my dear
Sure.
God,
you'd be very excited.
Kyle Latino did all the maps. Great job. Kyle.
incredible! This is
Hey.
very. I won't say anything because I don't want to spoil, but the producer irony, like dramatic irony, is what I have right now, and I don't like it.
Okay, I'm gonna look around to see if there's any kind of thing I should light to make more light in here. If there are like torches or lanterns or big.
It looks like on this altar there are more candles.
Yeah, I'm not lighting the altar on the. I know magic is real, right? Like we live in a world where magic is real.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, I'm not lighting those candles. I will begin searching this area.
Light them.
No,
Do it.
you had your chance.
Do
You
it,
could have come with
coward.
me.
You don't see anything else in this room other than this altar and the fact that you're in a big skull.
Okay, and then there's like a hallway that continues down.
You know what? Actually, you would see probably on the altar. It looks like there is dried blood, as if
Sorry.
as if someone has recently spilled blood on the altar.
Whoops.
How recently?
Make a heal test.
Yeah, that's a thing I could
Just
do.
touch it.
Because
Lick
that's
it.
what we're doing for this,
Lick
apparently.
it.
Click it. If
I
it's
believe
real old, it won't matter.
I have succeeded in my heal
Nice.
test.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been more than 48 hours since the last time blood was spilled on this altar.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah. So this is dried brown. This isn't from last night's
Nice.
set of murder.
No.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess the only thing to do is to follow the spine.
Sure, that's the only choice you have.
Turn
You.
that blood into a packet. That's
I
Kool-Aid
am
mix.
loving this.
We're gonna beat your adventure in 2 sessions, James.
Sure you are.
Gonna,
What? I don't like that.
Um,
what character sheet do you guys want me to choose for my next character?
yeah.
Get in the comments.
So
Honestly, we could use another like investigative one. So, if you want to
The-
do
Or
like,
anyone with like some social tact, honestly, I
That's
feel
this
like would
character.
be
I have a
helpful.
55 in fellowship. I am.
we have
good at
3/4 of a brain cell between the 4 of us. So if you want to
I'm
help
the
with that,
charisma one.
So your light is just barely showing the ceiling of this chamber as your flickering candle leads the way in, and you can see this massive spinal column and ossified rib cage that curve around to hold everything up, and then they meet on the floor, what is basically a sternum, right? That you are walking along, and you can see that there are broken frames and half-burnt pages, rusted and near useless old blades and deteriorated armor and crumbling statues, all sorts of discarded works of art in this chamber. And someone clearly decided these things should never see the light of day. You can also see that it looks like maybe at one point there was like a left arm and leg here that have since like collapsed and been destroyed. However, you do note that it looks like there is a right and left leg, or a right arm and the right leg, sorry, that you could try to journey down if you're picturing this as a person, a giant person laying face down.
Yeah. Which why wouldn't I at this point? I should have probably asked this earlier. Does this seem like a thing that is constructed to look like a giant skeleton, or am I like aware that giants used to be a thing and this is like a dead body that I'm walking through?
So you're aware that giants, there are giants, and that giants, even before people, giants were the people. That like giants ruled and roamed the earth, and then uh,
The Fire
they
Nation.
sort of died out, but there are still some left.
Okay. So like this isn't like a construction that looks like bones. This is giant bones.
Yeah, you could make a folklore test to see what you might know about.
Let's do it. No, what? Actually, no. That's an 8. So 86.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
I didn't. I needed a 40.
Okay. Yeah. So you're in this room with all of this artwork, discarded artwork.
I mean, anything small enough for me to pocket?
Yeah, I mean, there's broken pieces of stuff everywhere. It looks like a lot of it's been smashed or burned or partially destroyed intentionally. But you can make an awareness test to see if there's anything.
I'm looking for two types of things. One, things that might still have value, and in this order, two, like if there's a piece of painting that still has a signature on it or something. Well, that's a 96, which let me tell you, folks, definitely above my threshold. I'm pretty scared.
You don't find anything, and you also don't hear the light shuffling behind you and in front of you until entering within your firelight is a pale face that is half hanging off the body of this reanimated corpse. And then you feel on your shoulder a hand curl around and dig into your shoulder as a second reanimated corpse is behind you. And let's go over to the full tankard now.
La, da, da. There's music
Wait, I
playing,
do
and it's
have
very
a question.
pleasant. And
Yeah, I do have a question. First of all, about half of the face, is it hot?
Yeah.
It is
which cast
not?
member of The Wire does it most resemble?
That's a
Yeah,
great
which
question.
one?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh.
No, that was a
he's a
child.
kid.
Don't-
Little known
Wasn't he
on
like
the child.
young?
Oh, that's fair. Yes, he was a
Yeah.
child in that. So I will.
Okay, let's say
instead-
Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger.
I'll say,
Sure.
yeah, Michael B. Jordan is well. Then definitely
Hot.
hot. Definitely hot.
Hot.
But
Hot.
the guy behind you looks like Mayor Carcetti, aka Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Still
Aiden
hot,
Gillis?
honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know what all the disappeared folks look like? Do we have any
Oh,
inkling?
You didn't get any descriptions necessarily.
Other than that they're all hot.
Yes, other than that they look like Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger
Everyone
and
is-
Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
These games of Zweihander starter set are produced by the CW. So everyone.
Yeah, that's true. Everybody looks like the Flash, and also they have low-paying jobs but great apartments for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Second thing, I'm gonna go ahead and do a callback to a thruple joke that happened off camera, and now we can play this game.
Got it.
Yes.
So yes,
Where's my man? In a corner with his hood over his head, I assume.
yeah, but exactly as you ordered.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, little Bruno.
You can see he's got like 3 empty tankards and is working on a 4th.
He
All
is
right, well,
blasted. I'm
request
gonna
of
That
guess.
seems unhealthy.
And as you open the door, right, there's like raucous laughter, shouted
Yeah.
jests, tankards clinking, merry conversations. And like it's hazy, there's smoke, there's the smell of ale. And you can see he's in the corner. There are a couple of pale-skinned merchants who are showing samples of cloth to a table of traders, and like they seem to be the life of the party. Like the traders are like, yes, ha, blah blah blah, like we'll buy that, and we'll, and they're making people laugh, and they're doing that kind of thing as they
I would
sell
love to
stuff.
bring something expensive around all of these drunk people.
Are there any people wearing the gray robes of the Church of the Martyr in here? Do I see any?
There are no people wearing the martyr robes.
Okay.
But you do see a broad-shouldered, dark-skinned bartender who smiles
Hot.
when they see you, and they say, "Ah, new faces! Haven't seen you here
This is
before.
not
Have a
what
seat.
we
Have a
want.
seat."
This is not
And
ideal.
says, "First drink on the house," and puts 2 mugs of ale
Ooh, my
onto the
favorite.
bar.
That is very tempting.
Uh,
Can I self-roll a resolve test?
I'm going to go speak with the barkeep for a little bit
Okay,
more
that's
information.
perfect.
Go check on your vagrant.
Yes.
Okay. So you go to check on the vagrant, and the barkeep says, well, who might you be?
Oh, don't worry about all of that. I'll be gone by tonight. I wanted to know more about you and this fine establishment.
And they say, well, I'm Marcus. This is my husband, Holden. And motions to
hello.
another individual behind the bar who gives a friendly wave.
Energy is the same.
And they both smile at you. And Marcus says, you know what? If this is your first time in town, you probably haven't heard about the founding of Swanzi.
Oh.
Ooh, this sounds delightful and charming and a little tedious. I'll listen.
And Holden says, you're right about the tedious part.
Ha!
And Marcus is like, you hush.
Classic
now.
banter. I love
Oh,
it.
they're so domestic.
Yeah.
And he leans in and he says, now,
Mhm.
during the turn of the Dawn Age, when the last of the Nephilim roamed the land. You know Nephilim?
James, what's a
Big
Nephilim?
giants.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness.
Statuesque, beautiful people. When the last of the Nephilim roamed the lands, a terrible drought struck this area,
Oh my
and the
goodness.
region slowly started to die. But one Nephilim, named Swanzi,
Ah.
was a great sculptor of clay and earth. Swanzi swore to save the land. With chisel and mallet, they cleaved down from the mountains to bring us the river Basque,
Oh.
and the effort killed them.
Oh my goodness.
Aw.
They say Swanzi died right here in this spot. That's right. And they watched over the region as they perished. Then years later, people came to settle this fertile area, and that's why we call it Swanzi. And he lifts a mug of ale to toast you.
Also toasts, but then says, how did they know to call it Swanzi if he was dead by then?
Nice.
Great question.
Get a part.
That's one a lot of people ask. Well, what happened is, you see, priests of the martyr were the first to settle this area.
Oh.
And legend has it that they found some of the old texts of Swanzi, journals, diaries, that sort of thing that the Nephilim had written.
Oh my goodness, those journals must have been huge.
Yes, I suppose. That's all lost to legend now, though.
Of course, yes.
talked
I mean,
to
where
some
would
of
they
the-
even store them?
I know. Ridiculous.
I actually.
Also, where would you hide a giant around here? Am I
Right.
right?
That's so funny. You would have to. Goodness gracious. I suppose you could put it in a mountain or something, but then why would you move it away from town? It's just so much work. Who even has time for that anymore? I heard an interesting rumor. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, I am all ears.
I just came into town earlier today and I had heard something just terrible disappearances, murders, even. You know, I had heard that Swansea was such a nice, safe town, and now I'm just not sure. What do you think?
Well, it is a true shame what's been going on in our town, and I would like to tell you that I think you're safe here, but it's not great. We had Hale and Proctor Why, we might have been the last people to see him before they went missing.
I'm
I
sorry.
just don't know.
Who did you say? Who is that?
Oh, Hale and Proctor, they worked over at Vauxhall Manor. They used to come here almost every evening to knock back a few. Like the job, like the boss. He gave them every night off to come be here. Can you imagine that? How many servants get that?
That is incredible. Was their master so kind with all of his servants, or these two were just favorites?
Oh, yes, Lord Franklin. Great artist, a little bit of an aloof character, but always treats his people well.
That's so strange. And you said you were the last to see them. What happened to them? Did they?
Well, I don't know
They
that I was the
disappear?
last to see them, but
Oh,
yeah, they
that's so
came
sad.
in here. Holden and I saw them, and then well, they were gone. I can still picture their last night here. They were over with the twins over there, and he points to the two cloth merchants, Vaughn and Zira.
Oh my goodness.
uh,
I love a good story. This sounds like a mystery. I love mysteries. Would it be too much to ask for you to introduce me?
to Vaughn and Zira.
Yes, I would love that.
Oh, well, come on over. And says, what about your friend?
Oh,
Points.
he bless his heart. He has this soft spot for the less fortunate. And so I'm sure
Oh.
that he'll be sinking another couple of copper into that man's tankards. It's pathetic,
Well,
really, but
Oh,
everybody has to
no, of
have a
course not.
hobby.
We love Morrow, and if his copper spends just as well as everybody else's.
That's so dear of you. That's so sweet. I love small towns. I love how just authentic you are.
Excellent. And
Yeah, just
he
to make
will
it clear, like Black Eden is kind of coming off as like an out of touch, like sort of brunch liberal.
definitely, definitely.
Very much like easy to swindle, easy to talk into a couple extra drinks, non-threatening.
Yeah, and he's very much getting that vibe
Cool.
that he can sell you some more ale.
Yeah, sell me ale. I love ale.
And he says, "Well, come on, I'll have you introduce. I'll introduce you." And he starts to bring
I
you over to the
appreciate that.
table.
And I'm not very good at, and as we get closer to the merchants, this is when Black
Mhm.
Eden wants to talk money once they're in earshot. It's like, and I would love to, I can't quite, could you break a crown? I'm just not, I didn't bring any small spending cash with me. All crowns, unfortunately, is I could buy a few rounds for the
Oh.
bar if that's all right. If you could
Oh.
break a crown for me.
Yes, of course, of course. I'm
really
sure everyone
appreciate
would
that.
appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Meanwhile, in the corner, Rudy, you see Morrow, sees you, and he says, "Oh, I stayed right here. I put my hood up. I did everything you told me to do. Don't beat me up."
Does he seem drunk or just
Yeah,
fine?
he seems a little drunk.
All right. I'm trying to think about what I want to do here. I'm very concerned that has anyone been looking at you or paying attention to you? Did anyone try and talk to you?
He says, "No, not really, but I think I found something out."
What? Have you overheard anything? Any rumors, conversation?
Yeah, those voices I heard last night.
Yes.
I heard them again.
Here.
They came, and he points to the two cloth merchants that Black Eden is going over to talk to. And just one more scene here. Giles, what do you do as these things are happening to you, as you are surrounded by corpses?
I'm aware that undead are a thing, like in our universe.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard rumors. You may not have seen them.
I think Giles's first instinct is to begin speaking to them and try fight, flight, fawn. I'm gonna go with this one right here.
Another 3 Fs.
Yeah, fight, flight,
Plus,
fawn.
they're hot, so.
There's a fourth one now. There's it's not just fight or flight anymore. We have a more nuanced understanding
Oh,
of
sorry.
our adrenal responses.
Okay.
Hey guys. I think I got a little turned around. I'm a member, and I was just passing through town. Are they at all like?
Nope. Coming towards you, reaching for you, mouths open.
Solid. I'm gonna stab you.
So you upstairs, Barbara, you hear the sound of a fight start to break out distantly, but echoing upstairs towards you. At the same time, you hear coming behind you, Mother Eloise saying, "Oh, well, there we go. Whole new robe. I suppose you're almost done with the good father here."
As soon as she's like kind of like looking down, I'm gonna look at the dog,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say, "Go get her. She's got treats." And then I'm going to sprint to where I hear the fighting happening, whatever
Okay.
direction that feels right. And I'm gonna try and like avoid line of sight. Maybe Sister Eloise was like straightening her gown when she was talking,
Mhm.
and maybe not necessarily looking at me, but I don't want her to see me flee her presence in shame and run towards the secret panel if I can help it.
Okay, excellent. Well, I think that's a great place to leave it. Got a couple of cliffhangers working here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get in the comments. Let me know what archetype you want me to play for one
Your next
god.
character, yeah.
Next time you're gonna be an undead motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, is did I hear that correctly? Undead is the new profession for
Oh, maybe.
the starter
maybe.
set.
Listen, Daniel watched last time, so he may. He
I'm
was
so
he was
sorry,
making up rules.
Daniel. Really,
He loved it.
so
Loved it.
sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Well, thank you all for playing.
Thank you, James.
You all for watching. Let's quickly go around the table, let people know where they can find you. TK.
What up? It's me, it's TK. Writing spooky stories, being on the internet. Earlier today, I asked a very important philosophical question. Feel free to find me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray, and let me know if you've ever pooped so hard that your legs fell asleep.
Yes.
Okay. Diana, where can people find you?
I haven't, first of all. You can
Yes.
find me you can find me on Twitter at DemicoDiana. I don't ask such important questions, unfortunately. I just post about the stuff that I'm working on a lot of times, and that's about it, really.
Excellent. Sean, where can people find you?
Once again, you can find me in Atlanta, Georgia, or the surrounding suburbs. If you'd like to find me online, you can find me on Twitter at Sean Banerjee or SeanBanerjee.com for all my other links.
Excellent. Rudy, where can people find you?
Hey, you can follow me on Twitter at Rudy Basso. Check me out every Monday for the rest of February from 5 to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Cobalt Press's Twitch channel, where I'm wearing a different hat. This cowboy hat, or as I like to call it, the classic bard hat in the fantasy world of Midgard that is canon, I believe.
Yeah,
because of
it
me.
is now.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's fun. A lot of hats. Hats on headphones. That's the new thing in 2022 from what I hear. So
Excellent. Well, thank you all so much for playing, and we will be back on Monday.
Yes.
And now let's throw it over to me and Rudy.
us. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. And we're back. Thanks, us, for throwing it to us. James, you're muted.
Classic. Look at us throwing it to us. We did it. That is one of the wildest RPG sessions I think that I have had in terms of I am not sure what is going to happen next.
Yes. Well, first off, reminder, head to Zweihander.kickstarter.com or Zweihander.kickstarter.game or Kickstarter.zweihander.game to back this project and get your own copy to have your own adventures with. I believe a new stretch goal has been achieved, James. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is accurate. We crossed over the $25,000 mark during this very stream,
Oh,
which means that all new diseases have been unlocked.
oh,
So there will be new diseases in the Game Master Secrets folder, which like there's new stuff in here. So if you are a Zweihander grognard,
yeah,
as they say, there's like gonna be some newness in here,
yeah,
not just the adventure, which you can only get with the box set, but some other cool new stuff.
yeah.
And
Additional
looks like disease is gonna
supplementary
be one of them.
material, yeah, that you might want to add to your other home Zweihander game. So, James, let me ask you, as a game master, that we might have new game masters out there who, after seeing this stream, want to purchase this. So this is speculation on my part as well. I have not read the adventure. But when one of your PCs with some great rolls and some great intuition finds the big secret pretty early on, I would say, so you could have put up an obstacle for Sean. You could have said, no, you can't go down here. Or you could have made him fail a resolve test and made him turn around. But you let him continue going deeper down into the big scary monster dungeon.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, I think one of the big things is there's a lot going on in this adventure, right? There are some big secrets, there are some other secrets, right? And while I think probably you and the audience have managed to put together what Sean's character is inside currently, what Giles is making their way through. There are there's a lot going on, like why are people disappearing still is a big question, right? Like who is murdering individuals. And so for me, there are other mysteries at play that are still going to drive people to explore the story. And like honestly, it is more satisfying when the players stumble upon these things through their own actions. Like this was a couple of good critical successes, bypassing a door and sneaking around, and some risky things were done, right? Like sneaking forward could have been caught, and is now alone basically in a big scary place. So there's a lot going on that I think should be rewarded, right? Like when players take risks, that it creates some incredible stuff, and so we want to encourage that. But then the other thing is to know that there's plenty of adventure there still to drive the story forward, and that's like the big thing is like this is going to be more satisfying for the players. And I learned that through doing a lot of like no GMing, right? Like no, don't do that because I'm not ready for that. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing for the player, like, oh, but I had this whole thing and I wanted to go down here, and it's like, well, fine, let's do it and see what happens. I mean, there's every chance that Giles does not make it out of this dungeon alive.
That's true. It's very true.
We will see.
I mentioned it during the stream, but there's a little bit of dramatic irony here going on in regards to what that map looks like. Sean doesn't know what that map looks like, and I don't think Sean is in our chat or any of the other players besides myself. So no one knows that is a giant skeleton, that Giles is at the very top and making their way downwards through truly horrifying artwork. When I first saw that, I was like, oh, my reaction was just of pure horror. Truly living up to, you said this was a horror adventure, and is very much living up to that.
Good. That's excellent. Yeah, that was born of a conversation where Kyle Latino, who drew all the maps, and it was a conversation where I said to Kyle, what do you want to draw? And he said something really weird. And so we went back and forth on a couple things, and I don't remember who exactly pitched this, but I'm so glad that it ended up in the adventure as it did.
Is definitely very weird and very scary and very cool too, I might add. I'm very, very excited to learn more about the mystery of Swanzi, who Swanzi was, how it does, like, this Fulci collective that we've heard of. What is the the Martyr God, I mean, can
Mhm.
that play into it? I don't know. There's still a lot of, when I said that this big secret has been revealed, maybe it's a core clue, but it is not by any means the
Sure.
solution to the mystery. There's still a
Right.
lot of
It's-
questions that need to be answered.
It's definitely one of the biggest. It might be the biggest reveal of the
Mhm.
adventure, but it's not the only reveal, right? It's the
Yeah.
so we haven't quite Kaiser Soze'd it yet, to make a reference that I'm sure everybody understands.
Cool, James.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just one more time, feel free to head over to Zweihander.kickstarter.com or
Please
.game.
do.
Already funded, so you're guaranteed your starter set, and this is Andrews McNeil behind this, so there's no fear of it not coming through. This is a full big on publishing company, so you're going to be getting some really great materials and a really great box set. And the materials, it sounds like they're just going to keep going with all these Kickstarter goals being met, the stretch goals being met. So yeah, keep an eye out, head there, back it. How much is it for the base tier? I don't know. Is
So
it 17
if you want-
or no?
If you want just the box,
Yes.
it's 33 is the
33.
standard edition.
Wow.
And 22 if you want the digital edition
Sure.
of the
Oh,
box.
but you're going to want to pay
So-
the $11 to get all those physical rewards.
Yeah, you
that's,
get so
that's
many
a-
physical
holy
rewards.
Crap.
You
Yeah,
really do.
that's a real
Yeah.
bargain. Yeah.
Yeah. And the highest tier for the Zweihander Superfan
Yes.
is $666.
Oh.
But you get a lot of stuff with that. You
Yeah.
get a ton of stuff,
Yeah,
including
yeah.
a personalized Dogmite wooden GM screen.
Oh my goodness.
So it's that's for the ballers among you, shall we say? The truly chaotic.
The truly chaotic.
Yes. Yeah. So excellent, Rudy.
Yeah.
This has been lovely,
Oh.
lovely, and chat. It has been lovely
Yes.
having you all watch. Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
for all the people watching, all the people chiming in. We have some return peoples. Temerathon, thank you for coming back. I know you were here last
Mhm.
week. Thanks to NPC Charles had to duck out, but appreciate them being here.
Yeah, thank you, NPC Charles. Yeah.
Sharath and Nymeria streams, I believe. And then we also had Cypher of Tyr was here. as
Cypher of
well.
Tyr made a
Yes.
guest appearance. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you, Pramster, for backing the Kickstarter.
Yes,
hero.
Pramster.
Nice.
MVP.
MVP. I hope you enjoy your adventures in Swanzi.
Yes,
As
I hope so
terrifying as they
too.
may be. All right, James. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's stream. Oh, I'm glad that you had fun watching. We'll be back next week, this very day, this very time, Monday at 8 o'clock for part 3 of 4 of The Secrets of Swanzi, part of the Zweihander starter kit. So until then, any last words, James? Say anything else, or just
Tune in because
Tune
I
in.
am just as excited as you to find out what happens.
yeah. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Get some great sleep. Stay warm. If it's cold out, stay cool. If it's hot out, because sometimes it is.
Wherever you may be.
Yeah, wherever
Australia.
you may be. Yep. And have a great night. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.